Was the night before Thanksgiving, and all through the house, all the dogs are sleeping until they hear a car door and then they start barking. So what's going on, everybody? Dave here. So yeah, so here it is, Thanksgiving Eve. I was gonna jump on and play another game tonight, but it's late over here in the West Coast. I'm kind of beaten. My luck, I'd have another extra inning game. I played earlier tonight. I jumped on in the afternoon to play a afternoon baseball game, right? Thinking to be okay. And it was Red Sox and White Sox, I think, from '79. And wouldn't you know it, it's like the game gets tied up in the eighth inning, and the wife's like, we get people coming over in a couple of minutes to, go out to dinner or whatever. And I just was like, yep. So what am I going to do? I'd have to end the game. I was looking at the clock. Literally, I had 20 minutes to finish the game, and I'm going into extra innings. Luckily, the White Sox pulled it out. I think they got a run on the top of the ninth or something. And the Sox went down 1-2-3 at the bottom of the ninth, and that ended the game. But yeah, White Sox and Red Sox, funny game. But man, I was almost going extra innings again. It's all I ever do with baseball. It's uncanny. It really is. But anyway, hi Mo. Thanks for coming by tonight. And Barbara, how you doing, Barbara? Is Yeah, I was gonna say I was gonna play a game tonight, but I'm kind of beat here myself, so I'm just gonna say hi to everybody. Um, I might do a quick game tomorrow. Tomorrow's gonna be a weird day over here, as the what my wife's mother, so my mother-in-law's, she's just getting out of rehab. She broke her shoulder and her back, and she's in her 80s, and so they want to take her out to eat. So they're gonna go to this buffet tomorrow, right? And after all the stuff I've gone through with the doctor, I says the last thing I need to is go to buffet. I says I'm sorry, but I says I don't mind hanging out with the family, but I says if I go to a buffet and I spend $70 plus tip at the buffet, I says I am gonna overeat, and I can't do that. And I know you can overeat anyway, but when you drop $70 down on a buffet, it's like I'm not just gonna go up and get a little bit of food. So I says, I got to do this for myself. So she's gonna go with her mom to the buffet, and I'm gonna go to my uncle's, and we'll hook up later. But so I got to try to discipline myself and out at my uncle's house because they have a lot of food there too. So tomorrow's gonna be a strange day because we're gonna kind of go our own way for the first time in I don't know how long, many, many, many years. We always go together. So hopefully we'll hook up later on the day and have our Thanksgiving. But just want to come on and say hi to everyone tonight. So, like I say, Barbara coming by, Jeff coming by. Yeah, Mo says, bring on the turkeys. Bernie stopping by. Bernie L, thank you. Arnold says, have I played deep drive baseball? No, no, I have not tried deep drive baseball. There's still a handful of games. I know Bernie Strom has got 94 baseball games listed. I probably have 20 or 25 of those games that I've either played or tried to play. But that's one of those I haven't. Deep Drive, I haven't. Triple Play, I haven't. Dynasty, I haven't. There's some of the names off the top of my head. So there's a lot of them. A lot of them. Uh, and Barbara says, Happy Thanksgiving. She says, yeah, good for me. Keep up the good work staying well. Yeah. Yeah, I went out to dinner tonight with some friends, and I ate more than I did in a long time, but it was early enough in the night. So I says, maybe if I can fast all night until the wee hours out tomorrow morning, or late tomorrow morning, I'll be okay. I'm gonna try to go to the gym in the morning too, so I can burn some of that off. Because we haven't gone out with these people in quite some time. So it's all right. I'll go out and just restaurant food's restaurant food. So I'm kind of paying for it now, but I've been doing pretty good on the discipline there. When you see results, that's the thing. When you see results, it gives you incentive to go. When the first 3 or 4 weeks I did this, I got no result, and I almost gave up. But then you start seeing a little bit, and it's like, okay, I see the results coming, and so I just gotta keep it up. Steve Tower, I was watching him play some football tonight. Unfortunately, with the Boston team losing, I think I unsubbed to his channel because when the Boston teams lose, I don't like that, Steve. I don't like that. You got to fix that. You want me to watch your games? Boston's got to win. That's all I'm saying. They had the raspberry lime back in stock, so I picked up the raspberry lime. I do like that. These are nice and cold too. The fridge down here. Something about basement fridges are so much colder. You ever find that if you have a basement fridge, or if your grandparents do, your parents do, it's always the coldest one. My grandparents, when they were alive, they had a fridge downstairs, basement fridge, and that's where they kept like all the beer. They would put the pies for holidays or cakes for birthdays in that fridge down there. But the the beer in the fridge down there. Holy cow! It was the coldest beer in town. That fridge downstairs. I don't know if they had it set at 22 degrees or what, but it was cold, much colder than the fridge upstairs. It really, really was. But yeah, Steve Thomas, happy Thanksgiving, Steve. Texas Ags, what do you got there? Is there another college football board game besides Glory Days football out there? I'm not sure. I'm really not sure. I heard that Glory Days football is kicking around with the pro seasons. That's what I would be interested in, is the pro seasons. Mo says APA has college football, Strat has college football currently, but only PC. Okay. So I don't know if you can see over here all those. Oh, I can even tilt that over. You see that? See that stack right there? That's what I did today. I got done work in the afternoon, and the wife come home and took a nap, so she kind of gave me the afternoon to myself. And before I started streaming, I started printing and cutting. I've been a printing and cutting fool all day with the season ticket cards, and they are just phenomenal. I mean, these things here, that's what they look like, right? And they're about the size of an apricot, just wider. But the way that Clay puts these on the sheet to print them, it is perfectly centered. All I got to do is I put these on my cutter, and I cut it at 3 inches and 2/3. And so I found the little notch on my little cutter that I slide it and I cut it and I slide it and I cut it. So basically, I cut the width in thirds, and it's perfect. Perfect. And then you cut it in half at the 4.5-inch mark, and you cut it in half. And these cards they're almost factory setting good. That's why I was going nuts today, just printing season. I mean, team after team after team, because I'm like, man, I was having fun. It's like I'm printing them out, they're shooting them over here. I'm cutting them and printing out more, and then and they were coming out so good. I didn't want to stop. I printed and cut 25 teams today. And yes, I printed out some 1980 teams so I can play the playoffs in 1980. I just printed 95. I'm going to play Red Sox, Cleveland, and then whatever happens there, I'm going to probably play Red Sox Atlanta. I want to see what would happen in 95 if the Red Sox went on. I want to see how they do against Cleveland, and then if they had played Atlanta. Of course, I did 86 as well. So I printed out 86, Red Sox, Angels, and then also the Mets. I printed a whole bunch of 79, so I can now include season ticket into my 79 replay that you guys see me playing. 78, Yankees, Red Sox, so I can play the Bucky Dent game. What else did I print out? I'm trying to think what else. I printed out a whole bunch of teams. I really did. And the only reason I stopped is I ran out of paper. I blew through all my 110-pound cardstock. So I just ordered 2 more off of Amazon. I'll probably get them Friday or Saturday, and I can do some more. But yeah, what I wanted to do with season ticket is because I enjoy that game. I wanted to show the cards off, and that's something I didn't do in the past because I didn't print out all the cards. I enjoyed just having them on the sheet. I thought it was easier. But realistically, it is better to have the cards, lay them on the table, show them off. So that's what I was doing there. And Texas said he's going to look at APA. So Mo, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Money Manziel, right? Fast Drive Football is college, all teams for free, and the game is drive by drive. Yep. Yeah. Fast Drive Football is fantastic. It really is. And many games from Downey have college football. If you like drive by drive or final score games, that's what Downey's good for. Although Fast Action Football and Mean Gene, they have a few play-by-play games. Fast Action Football is one of the first ones I played. That's what Fast Action cards, and that one just takes a while to play because it's a play-by-play type of game. But and that might have college too. It really might. So, but anyway, yeah. So it's been a fun day. So I'm trying to think. Have you guys done any Black Friday shopping? I did a little bit. I placed a few orders. Like I said, I'm not going to give away what I got, but I got some baseball seasons from a certain company, and I'm going to probably order a couple more baseball seasons because some of the sales started early, so I took advantage of that. I think yes. I think I've gone to 3 places so far and bought some games so far. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with Action PC this year. I have a ton of seasons for them. I just haven't played an Action PC game in quite some time. It's just one of these things. Just you have so many games. It's just you haven't got to it. Neither have I played, any of the Inside Sports games either. So I usually pick up a couple of seasons there. Um, but this year I'm kind of leaning more cards and dice than I am computer because that's where I am. Like last year, I was more computer, I think, because I bought a lot of computer seasons. Strat and Action PC and Inside Sports. I bought a lot of computer seasons last year. This year, I'm really into the cards and dice, really into the baseball. Really, I'm enjoying my baseball. And someone asked a while back here. I'm sorry, I missed this here, Mo. If Mo asked, season ticket or payoff pitch, what do I like more? Boy, that's a real tough question. I just got back into payoff pitch. I gave it a second chance and I love it. I love it now. And like I say, that's just really like the game. The cards, I mean, the price you pay for the cards printed to get every player, it's an unbeatable deal. The game plays really well too. It took me a while to kind of muck my way through it to figure out what's what, but it's fantastic. Now, season ticket I hadn't played in a while either, and I just started playing that again. And I printed out a bunch of seasons, and I've only played the one game today. Okay, now it was an enjoyable game. No, 2 games. So I played 2 games of season ticket, and it's been enjoyable. But I'm finding a couple of quirks in the game, and I'm not sure. I got to play more. I got to need a bigger sample size to see if I really enjoy it or not. They're both very enjoyable. I don't know which one I would pick if I had to pick. They both do things. There's things about both games that I really like. I love how the run, the steal mechanic and the challenging of the arm mechanic works in season ticket. Although I find it easier to win those challenges. So if you're challenging an arm, you roll the 3 dice plus your rating, and then you go against say the outfielder's arm plus 10. Well, you got 3 dice. The chances are pretty good you're going to roll higher than 10 on those dice. So I think it's heavily in favor of the person doing the challenging to win it, if that makes any sense. So if you're trying to throw out a runner, it's the runner plus 10, the chances are the fielder is going to win that. If the runner's challenging the fielder's on plus 10, the runner's going to win it. So I'm finding little quirks like that. I'm finding the game runs a little hot. I got a lot of hits. I got a lot of I got 5 home runs today with the Red Sox and the White Sox in 79. 5 home runs. Not complaining. I'm just some things that are notable. It was very fun. Don't get me wrong. It was very fun. So between payoff pitch and season ticket, they're both fantastic. I mean, they're right up there with Strat and Napper as far as I'm concerned. And payoff, I mean, pocket pennant run too. I really like the pocket pennant run. I played that last week. I'm looking forward to the 3rd version, individual cards. Oh, we'll print some cards out and we'll have a great old time with that. So there's just so many games to choose from, especially with the baseball games. It really is. In fact, I want to get hockey back on the table, but the baseball games play faster and they're easier to set up. So that's kind of why I haven't played much hockey, because I haven't really wanted to set up a full table full of hockey and do the line changes and all that stuff. So that's kind of why I haven't done the hockey as much. Although, maybe over the weekend, I'll get back into the hockey and set up some APA hockey games or something. Because I am itching to play some hockey. Fenner is stopping by. History Maker Golf. Yeah, I need to get back to History Maker Golf. That's another fun game. I think that's my favorite play game. History Maker Golf is my favorite play game by far. That game is just so much fun. When you do a tournament, it takes a while. But if you take a couple of guys and you play 18 holes, that work. You can get through like Al was doing. He was playing 1 hole at a time and losers out type of thing. So that might be kind of fun to do something like that. But yeah, no, that's another fun game. LK just got done making a pie and a salad. Time to kick back. Yes. Yep. That's kind of why I jumped on here. I sometimes come on here on Christmas Eve too. Just, sometimes people are done for the night. It's getting late here on the East Coast and people just kind of chilling out, and maybe on the West Coast or in the Central Time Zone. They're just kind of settling down. Everyone's in bed. They're kicking back. So just give us a chance to get together as a community and say hi and see how everybody's doing. If you're ready for your Thanksgiving tomorrow, and hopefully it will be a good one. Phil's stopping by too. Thanks coming by, Phil. LK says, I'm still looking and thinking, has anyone played bank shot basketball or SSG basketball? He's in a mood for college hoops. I played SSG. I haven't done the bank shot basketball. I'm tempted to do that, but I'm hot and cold with basketball games. I really need I don't know anything about basketball. I don't even know the positions. I don't know who's covering who. I don't know double teams. So I really need a game like regular season basketball is a good one because I don't have to know anything about basketball to play the game. Even Strat basic basketball, which I do like, even that I run into a little bit of, trouble with because I just don't know, who's open and why or why they're not open and the whole bit. So basketball, I tend to shy away from basketball just because I don't know enough about it. Sports Time Machine coming by. He was playing a terrific game of payoff pitch tonight. As my camera gets all blurry again. I don't know why it does that. Come on, focus, focus, focus. There you go. Payoff pitch. Yeah, he's playing some payoff pitch tonight. I was watching that. Richard. Hi, Richard. What's my preferred hockey game, cards and dice these days? Wow. Shootout hockey is always going to be at the top of my list, even though it's a highlight game. So that's probably my favorite. But right up there too is Stone Cold Hockey. That's they're very similar games. They do some things a little bit more different, a little differently, I should say. The shootout hockey get you your stats, get you the meat and potatoes of the game. The Stone Cold Hockey has a little bit more of a story to it because when you read the, okay, I'm going to roll the dice. Here's the play. Left wing gets, or the player gets checked and whatever. So you get a lot more description with that. So it kind of tells more of a story, and you get them the hit factor. I keep forgetting what that is there. The it's not the momentum. Oh, I forget what it's called, but Stone Cold Hockey has this meter, and if you keep losing, if you keep taking hits, it goes down, and then you can lose a lot of battles that way and give up some possession of the puck. So shootout hockey is really good. Stone Cold Hockey is real good. Strat hockey, I still can't play that on the cards and dice. When I do, I play advanced and it's fun. But the thing with strat hockey is you have to make decisions. And sometimes I just like to get a top-down view of a game and watch it play out and not have to make decisions about passing or penetrating or intimidating. When I'm in the mood for that, strats, that works great with that. And I also don't like the super advanced power play. So I still just do the basic and advanced power play in strat. So strat on the tabletop never quite grabbed me. I do like the PC game, but the tabletop, for me, it takes a back seat to Appa and Hockey Bones, which are the ones I was going to mention. Appa took a while for me to adapt if you followed along, but now it works out really well. And Hockey Bones, again, I struggled with that one too, just until I sat down and read the directions and realized it wasn't as difficult as I thought. So those are probably my games there. The shootout hockey and Stone Cold Hockey for my quicker play games, and my long play games would be Appa and Hockey Bones. On the computer, by far, it's Inside the Crease. I love that game. I wish they would redo that game so it would sim other games so I could play a season, because that would be my probably my number one played computer game. But they don't. You have to play every single game to accumulate standings, and just the games take over an hour to play, and that ain't going to happen. So when I'm in the mood to play a game, I'll play a one-off. But I think I started the Washington Capitals 74-75 season and Inside the Crease Hockey. And I got like 10 or 15 games in, and then I stopped. It's a long game to play, and just, I wanted to see how many games the Capitals could win. I still might go back to that, but I do like that. So hope that answers your question just a little bit, Richard. Fenner. Oh, you said cards and dice, by the way. Yeah, so cards and dice. Yeah, those four: shootout, Stone Cold, Appa, and Hockey Bones, depending if I want a short or a long game. Fenner wants to lean towards History Maker Baseball. That new Cooperstown card set they put out looks amazing. History Maker Baseball is one game I have not conquered yet. I have it. I have some seasons. I've given it a try, and I need to go give that a second chance. That's going to be in one of my second chances there, History Maker Baseball. Now, people love that game, so that's why I haven't totally get rid of it, because people absolutely love it, and it just takes a while to get used to how to play it. Now, if you've played it a million times, of course, it's not that difficult. But for someone that coming in from that cold, I found it to be a very difficult game and a lot of things to remember. And it just wasn't clicking with me. I had a hard time with it. Some games, like Payoff Pitch, I had a hard time with too. And I had to go back and really read the directions and make notes about what's going to happen in that game. And finally it worked. So hopefully History Maker Baseball will do the same. But that's a big game for play. People love that game. So there's got to be something good about it that hopefully one day I will find out. David says, I like and have both Bank Shot and SSG, both equally good. Some differences to give their own place on his table. I would think that Bank Shot might be the better one. Just because I'm trying to think, just because it's a newer version. That's what I'm thinking. Is that maybe it's a newer version? It might be better. That's just my thing. Where am I right now in the chat room there? Oh, ID's here. ID, check your email by chance. We've been going back and forth on email about a few things. ST Patrick, hey, good to talk to you there. Yes. You had a chance to check out the ST Patrick Sports Magazine. I look forward to seeing that. I need to get back to writing to that game. I get so many things to talk about now. Yeah, a lot of great baseball games here, and it kind of makes me sad when I read some of the things on Delphi and Facebook, when people getting all mad at the games and really getting unnecessarily angry. It's like there's so many great games to play. If you don't like one, don't play it. But I try to be happy. Maybe it's because I'm new. Maybe it's because I'm new. But I just enjoy so many of these games. I really do. I'm just having so much fun with all these games. Speaking about having fun.
Hey, how's it going?
Hang on.
I gotta turn you off on the other channel. Sorry.
Now I can hear you. I had you down over here. But speaking of fun, yeah.
Oh
So
boy.
many fun baseball games to play. In fact, I gotta sit down later on and watch ID's unboxing of some Payoff Pitch seasons there. Those are always fun. Well, they come in, they're like a brick, right?
Man, look at this thing. This is insane. Look at this. This thing weighs a ton.
I know,
Holy
right?
cow. This is just one season too. This is not like 3 seasons put together. This is one season.
Yeah.
It's
I have
it's a beast. Oof. I picked the box up and I mean it was heavy with the 3 seasons in it. You picked up how many seasons?
A
few. Okay.
Yeah, I don't want to give away too much because we have our post Black Friday show that we talk about.
Okay.
I will spill the beans though. I did get their oldest season that they offer because it was like $15-$16 after the discount.
Right.
It was 1889 or something like that. I love all that old crazy stuff. So
these are fun. These are fun.
Yeah. But I did an unboxing, I think when I got 1985, and it was like I did the same thing as you. I had the camera and I was upstairs and I says, "Here's an unboxing." Boom! Did you hear that?
Oh my gosh!
So many crazy. Cards is so thick. It really is.
They're really nice. I do love them. Yeah.
SDG Jamie, not sure we'll get too much, but did get Digital Diamond Baseball. So with the board game helper, might order a tabletop game to try. Yeah, the great thing about Digital Diamond Baseball, you get every season. It's all included. You don't need to buy anything, and you can play any single game. There was a couple of people asking me, it's like, hey, how do you get season ticket to work with Digital Diamond? There's no integration. It's just you play season ticket. What the results are, you put into Digital Diamond, and you're good to go. And so you can. I've played it with APA, Pocket Pen. I mean, every single baseball game I have back to basics baseball. I go right into Digital Diamond and it works great for all that. And actually, every season is there. Every single season is
Yeah,
there.
that's the best part. The
It
best
really
part.
is.
And it does all the transactions and keeps all the players on all the right teams.
Yeah. Do you know what I like about it? It's kind of a double-edged sword. Is like I say, 'cause I'm not a very when it comes to baseball, like I say, I hate to say the casual word, but I'm a casual guy. I don't know all about everybody. I remember the baseball cards, and I remember watching This Week in Baseball and the Game of the Week, and so that's kind of my thing. So what Digital Diamond does is that when you go to the bullpen, it shows you who's available that day. And sometimes you'll be going through all your cards. It's like, where's Jimmy Dean? Like, why? It's like, maybe he wasn't on the team, or maybe he was ineligible that day. But so you got to look at their bullpen. Sometimes there's only 3 or 4 eligible pitchers. And so that's all I can use. So I scroll till I find, Joe Schmo. Joe Schmo's going in to pitch. I don't know how good he is, but he's available.
That's right.
And so it really does help you, or help me, figure out who to put in as a pitcher, because I try to play the as played the best I can. And they tell you who's available that day, for pinch hitting or fielding or whatever. So Digital Diamond, that's one of the things that I really like. The flip side of that is I think there was one team I was playing today, maybe it's the White Sox, and they got like 17 pitchers and only like 9 come up. Like, where the hell are the 8 other guys, So maybe, so I was all excited, but I couldn't find anybody on the list. So again, maybe there was a lot of trades, or people are hurt, or they didn't dress that day. So
yeah, they could have been sent down to the minors, and you can only dress so many players.
This is true.
So,
yeah.
You might have 50 guys in your team, but you only dress 25 of them. So.
And Texas says, yeah, he likes the History Maker baseball. It's pretty awesome. So yeah, I tried it.
I would love to like play.com games. I don't know. I just can't wrap my head around their games.
The thing is they're different. They're different.
They are.
It's kind of like, if you're used to driving an automatic and then you got to drive a standard. If you've never done it, it is really clunky to try to, get it into gear. But once you've kind of played one play game and got it down, the rest kind of follow in line. It's just getting over the hump of that first game and following with what their thinking is, There's been other games that I played too. I mean, and not a play game, but other ones. And I just couldn't get what the guy was trying to do. And then I talked to Ron, and Ron's like, well, look at it this way, and look at it this way, and play. It's like, I never would have thought that, So, but once you get the hang, like the golf game is fun. The golf game is so fun. I really like that. I've seen you playing the golf. The golf's super fun.
The second season football, and I do love that one.
Oh, love that one. That's a good one too.
I really do like it. That was the one that they gave to the replay people. They gave it to replay for like 12 years, and then they got it back.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that's what every year I try to pick up a season or two on the Black Friday sale of the second season, and I still haven't played it in a while. And I don't know about you. And someone asked us the other day, says, how come everybody's playing baseball and no one's playing football? It's like, if you want to play a football game, especially the play-by-play type of game, just by yourself, it's a minimum of an hour, usually an hour and a half. If you're streaming, you're looking at 2.5 hours. So that's why it's like, sometimes I look at the clock. It's like, I got 45 minutes to an hour. I don't have 2.5 hours to do a football stream. And I know, do it half and then a half later. Well, so that's why I don't do a lot of football except the drive games, like the momentum football, the game winning drive, or, fast drive football, stuff like that, where you can pick off in 20 minutes or so. But yeah, the
momentum football, Dave, you got me hooked on it.
Is that fun? Is that fun?
You did.
Yeah. I do like that. I like how it's got the clock. Like you roll the dice and you take the minutes off the clock, so you can see that. Okay, this drive was a 4-minute drive or a 6-minute drive or whatever it is. I do like that. The momentum's fun. I like the fact that you roll, and you might be reading off the defensive chart or the other team's offensive chart. I think that's kind of fun. And I also like the fact that field goals are not automatic. You got to roll for them.
Right.
That makes it really fun.
And extra points too.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yep. Yeah. You got to roll for those.
Yeah. I mean, nothing's. And then you can have kickoff returns for touchdown, interception returns for touchdowns, fumble returns for touchdowns.
And I think if you want the stats, you can generate stats
Yes,
with
you
momentum.
can. Yeah, there's like 8 pages rules. You
yeah,
can
it's
do
a
it, but
slog. But if you
yeah.
want to, you can sit and roll and kind of add on some artificial stats at the end of that if you want to. Yeah, so that's a momentum. Yeah, I may or may not have picked up some momentum seasons on the sale. We'll have to wait for the post game show to talk about that. David C. Bank shot basketball is more direct game and incorporates subs by having all 10 players on the court per team. Bank shot has no charts, and all the results are on the player card. Oh, that's pretty good. I do like that. Yeah, so we were just talking about basketball games. It's like I don't know positions, but that's a game where everyone's on the court, and you don't really need to know the substitutions. I don't think. So if that's the case, yeah, that's it. I should have checked that one out. Eddie Ballgame still in the market for a PC hockey sim. Why not Action PC? Does look good. Oh, I got no problem with Action PC. I like the Action PC games. Ron's trying to convince me to get the newer one because it's a lot smoother and it does a few different things. I probably still will pick it up for the end of the sale. I just haven't played it. I haven't played much with the Action PC games, and it's not that I don't like them. It's just I have so many other things that I'm playing right now.
And I just speaking of which, I was looking like last month, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna play some Action PC, and I looked at my versions, and they were like from 2019, and I'm like, has it really been 4 or 5 years since I upgraded? Are you kidding? So I ended up buying. I bought the baseball and I bought the football.
Yeah.
And then I said, well, that's kind of dumb. Why did you do that? You should just wait for the sale coming up. So
yeah, I think I will pull the trigger on the new hockey version. Yeah. Matt McKeever, Pocket Pennant Run. Thanks for coming by. Did you see the reveal for Pocket Pennant Run 3?
I have not.
Oh, they had the reveal video for it. It's coming out in December, and it looks pretty cool, including the ability to print individual cards instead of just having the little team cards.
Really?
Yeah. And the ability to create yourself and put you on yourself on a team. All kinds of different things like that. Yeah.
Season mode type thing. Yeah, that's kind of cool.
So yeah, so the Pocket Pennant Run 3, I really liked it. They also had, it was neat. They had a book that's going to be available. So picture like a spiral bound book, and on the top pages, it's all the Pocket Pennant Run charts, and below is like how you can put in the box score. It's like a baseball entry thing.
Okay.
On the score sheets in there.
Yeah.
And it's like all spiral bound. Like I said, so every page has, the rules and the charts, and then you just kind of keep score. And so it was like almost like a keepsake,
Oh, nice.
And it looks so cool. I was like, man, I might get one of these and, play some games and just, for a keepsake. But yeah, so yeah, Matt, thanks for coming by. And we want to hear more about the Pocket Pennant Run 3, ST Patrick there again, the Sports Sim Magazine. We all know that now. Bank Shot is an amazing basketball game. But I had the chance to play the full play History Maker Hoops game from Play when I was at play.com, and he likes that one too. Okay. Yeah. I don't know if they've come out with a full version of that yet. They have the Highlight Maker Hoop, but the full one, I'm interested in seeing that. Yeah, Greg Braff plays nothing but APBA. Yep. That's true. And he does a good job with the APBA football. He really does. I'm all like, Richard says he's more like me. I move around sport by sport, sometimes game by game. Baseball strat, APBA season ticket. Yep. Yeah, I do.
There's a lot of good games. I mean, whenever I get in the mood, there's so many games I just can't. I played APBA the other day, and then I played season ticket, and then I did a boxing game, and I mean, it's just
what I love about the community. Okay, is somebody will pull out a game, and it's like, I need to play that. And next thing you know, like there's 5 or 6 or 7 of us playing that game. And then someone else pulls out a different game and we all go play that. Yeah. And that's what makes it so fun, because I love, like, when I'm on a kick, like I'm on a payoff pitch kick and now season ticket kick. And then I see like you or Sports Time Machine or Demos or somebody like that playing that game. I like to watch it, just got to make sure that I'm playing it the right way and just I can relate to it, because that's what I'm playing.
Yes.
So I do like that,
Yeah.
And that's been really fun. That's really fun. Let's see. Fanna says Marco put out that great looking video for the Play Tennis game. Oh, I haven't checked that out yet. You played tennis in high school. That's kind of neat. I used to like tennis. I was terrible at it, but I used to like to play tennis when I could run when I was 30 years ago.
I
It
just
was fun.
played for the first time last week. I picked up from the Downey sale Player of the Game tennis, and I played that on the channel for the first time. Now that is a one dice roll to get the result of the whole game. This is not a
Mhm.
shot by shot type thing. This is like you roll, they either you determine who wins the game. So it goes very very quick, but it's basically so you can play like you know like the final four
Right.
matches type thing.
Did you ever play Inside Volley from the Inside Sports
Yes.
games?
Hmm.
I kind of like that. It's got like
That is an excellent game.
the Excel
Absolutely
fast
excellent
action
game.
helper, and it kind of tells you like what happens. I think you can return a serve sometimes too, but I did enjoy that one. The little bit I played of that.
Yes, that was very good. I like that. In fact, I still have my printout copy in my drawer there. Yeah, it's
Nice.
awesome.
I don't know if you can see this pile over here. See that
Oh
pile
yeah,
right there?
yeah.
25.
Are those the ones you're working on right now?
Yeah, all day I was watching you and Sports Time Machine, and I'm printing and cut. I blew through a whole ream of 110-pound stock today. I did because I don't know if you print out the season ticket stuff or if you get them printed. I don't whatever Clay did when you print them out, they're perfectly symmetrical. And so I put them on my cutter and I cut the 11 way in thirds, and they're perfect. And then you flip it and you cut it at 4.5 inches for the 8, and they're almost like stock cut. And
Mm,
so when I saw that today, I was like, man, I was flying through it because I knew exactly where to cut. And they're like, I like to look at the cards when they're done and see how close they are. They're like almost identical. And I
wow.
just went, and I was like, boom, bada boom, bada boom. And what's really great about the season ticket cards, and I'll show you one here. You've seen them before. There's a lot of white on this card, so there's not a lot of ink being used. You know what I mean? You got a little bit here at the top that goes across with the color, but aside from that, it's like printing text. And some games that have the cards, and there's a lot of color on the card, and that chomps up your ink. It really
Mm,
does. But these weren't chomping up my ink at all. Your cartridge is low. 25 teams ago, my cartridge was low, and I'm still printing. You know what I mean? And I'm
yeah.
cutting, and I'm just so much. I had a blast with it. It's like, man, I got to stop here. But so I printed out
Well,
a
I'll tell
bunch of
you,
different
there's
teams.
I just did like an intro to season ticket this week, and the one thing I kind of told people was when you order the season file, what I like is the fact that each team comes as their own file.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's so many teams now that are so many games when you order a season file, they just throw them all in one
Yeah,
file.
yeah,
And
and
so you got to try to
you might
pick and
need
choose.
one card, and you got to print
Yes, you
out
got
like
to pick and
all this
choose
other.
and try
Yeah,
to find them. It's such a
yeah.
pain in the
I
butt.
love it when they're
Yeah.
separate. I do. I love it when they're separate. 'Cause
Mhm.
I want
Mhm. And the
Boston,
other
and I
thing
want
is
Cleveland.
they have the main players and the main pitchers, and then they have the
The extras.
scrubs as
Yeah.
well, or the backups.
You get everyone with season ticket and
Yeah.
payoff pitch. In fact, when I was printing one out, and I was like, "What the heck? There's only 8." It was, I forget what team it was. There's only 18. There was 6 on a page, and I printed out three pages. I was like, they got to be missing some because there's only I forget if it was batters or pitchers on this team. I think it was batters. There's only 18 hitters in this team. I thought they included everybody. So I go to Baseball Reference. I look on this team. They had 18. And they were spot on. So I was thinking that maybe they skipped out on something. They only had 18 batters, at least on Baseball Reference. I'm like, good for them. Really
Yeah,
good for them.
there you go.
And Marlon says he likes the striper shirt. Yeah, yeah. Thank you so much. I do a striper. Marco, we put this up before. Happy Thanksgiving, Marco. Hope you're doing well and hope things are going well for you. And let's see where we are here. Jerome stops by. Hi, Jerome. He said, SC Patrick just received set 003. Looking forward to playing some of the teams. That's good. And don't forget to set your bathroom scales back 25 pounds tonight at midnight. Yeah, I know. I know. I was just talking. The wife is actually going with her family to they're going to a restaurant, like a function hall sort of thing there, and it's open to the public, and it's like a $70 buffet, $65 to $70 for the buffet. And I went to the Easter one, right? But my health hasn't been good, so I got to be careful about some things. And I told her, I says, wow, I says, as much as I like to go, I says, I just can't. I says, and she's like, well, why don't you just come and just don't eat that much? I says, if I spend $70
You're gonna
at a
stuff it.
buffet,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna get a salad, and you know, and I'm not gonna go walk by the pie and not have. So I says, unfortunately, I says, I'll meet you guys after, and I'll say Happy Thanksgiving. We can hang out, but I says, I can't. I really need to do this for myself and not tempt myself by going to a buffet. I do. So she's gonna go to the buffet. I'm gonna go to my uncle's house and try to, I mean, it's a buffet over there too, but at least I'm not gonna drop $70 and feel like I gotta spend that $70.
Right.
But yeah, that's good one there. Set your bathroom scales back. Yeah. Who else will be getting the Dynasty League 40th anniversary box, bringing back the wall inserts? That looked beautiful. I saw the pictures of that. It looked gorgeous. I haven't played Dynasty League. That's one I haven't tried. I probably should, but I haven't. But I did see the 40th anniversary. How it was gorgeous. It was. I don't know if you saw the pictures of that, but the little backdrop they have with the field. It was so good. It was so good. SJG Jamie. I haven't found a PC hockey game I can really get into, at least full play. Depends what you're looking for. As I mentioned earlier, my favorite PC game, hockey game, is Inside the Crease. I think that captures every bit of hockey in a game, and I love it. Ron doesn't like it because he finds it's a lot of pass. And there's a lot of things like that in the game. So he wants to get kind of like right to the action. I'm okay with the pass, and the block shot and the fight in the corner because that's what hockey is. And that's one game I practice my play-by-play to in the off season. When there's no hockey and I'm not broadcasting, I'll go to that game and it's like, now it's Mike Milbury takes a shot. It's blocked by Mondu. Now it bounces behind the net and it's a fight in the corner between Cashman and Robinson. And Robinson gets the puck and slides it up to Lafleur. And I can follow the action. The block shots, the bad passes, the checks. Here's the pass. Oh, he is leveled and the puck is loose. That Inside the Crease does all that. It just doesn't simulate any games for you to play along with. You have to play every single game.
That is true.
That's all the Inside Sports games on the PC are like that. Unfortunately, I do like the football game on the PC, the Inside Blitz, but you got to play every game. You got to play every game.
It's a commitment, that's for sure.
And Mo says Play is having its Black Friday sale starting tomorrow. Yep, I think I heard that. I thought it was Friday, but maybe it was Thanksgiving. Hockey Blast Express and Draft Duel and some new football card game. I was looking at the Hockey Blast Express. That's got me intrigued. I will probably pick that up depending on what the price is going to be. It looked interesting. I've seen some people playing the Express version of that on YouTube there. It did look interesting.
I actually got the Hockey Blast right back behind my TV set right there.
I have that.
And I got it and I never played it. I just, It's another one of these games to try and learn. And it's just like.
Yeah. I find I have a love-hate relationship with that game. Sometimes I play that game.
That's why every time I try to.
And sometimes it goes right along. You're like, oh, what a great game that was. And other times it just starts to go down these rabbit holes. And you're just like, oh, my gosh, I can't take this anymore, But, sometimes that game works out really, really well. Fenner says, Jester, he's liking your shootout hockey videos. He likes shootout.
Oh, man, I'll tell you what. I got the cards right here ready to go.
Oh, how do you like the fast action cards?
Man, I love these fast action cards. These are the best.
They are. Oh,
they're really good. I like them.
Do you know what I got? I haven't opened it yet. I haven't done the unboxing. Yet.
Oh, the shuffler. Wow.
Yep. I got the card shuffler, so I got that for my shootout fast action cards, and I'm hoping that the payoff pitch cards will fit in there. Fast action cards. I don't know if they will. I don't know.
Probably.
I'm kind of hoping they do because I can shuffle those up.
It's like a regular card, so they should fit in there.
They might, yeah. But I got them for the shootout because I got two decks of shootout, so I like to mix those up. But Yeah, you started playing shootout with the dice, and I think I said, check out the fast action cards. It speeds it up so much.
It does. It does. And it gives you the thing that a lot of people don't realize is when you're playing with the dice, it's based on a 2d6 system. When you go to the fast action cards, it switches to a 2d10, which gives you a lot more
Mm,
options of
yeah,
what's going to happen
yeah.
because you're going from 2d6 to 2d10.
What I really like is that it tells you the time to come off the clock, and then it tells you like what happened, and then it gives you like the shooter, like all right there on the card, and then where you're shooting from. Is it a goal? It's boomity boomity boom. It's like, oh man, it's just everything's right there. It really
You
is.
know what it does? It doesn't take 3 hours to play.
Oh, I know,
Jeez.
I
I
know.
I don't know if I'm just an old man now, but I don't have 3 hours to play a hockey game anymore. I don't have the time to play 3 hours for one hockey game because if you
Yeah,
commit to a 7 game series, that's like 40 hours you're committing to.
yeah, yeah,
Ah,
yeah.
I
I
just can't do
started
it.
I started a Hockey Bones 1992 Bruins replay, and I'm just playing the Bruins games. I think I'm like 18 or 19 games in. I was doing okay at a good clip, but I would like play a period in the morning and then go to work or whatever, and then that night play a period, and so it would take me a couple games to kind of finish it because I would just leave it out on the table, so to speak. But that's how I did that. Um, but yeah, I mean the longer ones are tough. I was looking at the Fourth Street software hockey game.
Mhm.
Okay. And I'd never played it. And I was looking at it. It's kind of pricey. And it's only got a couple of seasons that I want. It's like one or two 70 seasons or one or two 80 seasons. It's missing the bulk of the 70s that I like.
And here's the thing. If you buy the computer game, you get a free season of your choice with it. So for
Okay.
$25, you get the program and a free season file, which I think is a great value.
Okay. I was looking at the board game on the table, and I think it was on Facebook. Somebody said he's learning how to play, and it took him 4 to 5 hours to play one game. I'm like, okay, you'll probably speed that up the better you get, but that's still that's a busy game. I
It is.
mean, I
It
don't even
is.
think my first game of Appa took me 4 hours, fighting through that. But so I'm interested in it, but I'm not 3 or 4 hours interested, that's for sure.
Well, obviously with the computer stuff, it's so much quicker because you just click the button to go to the next play. So that's obviously the it is all of his games are very complex. But if you enjoy complex games, it's
Mm,
going to be right up your alley. But
right.
again, you know, the baseball, I did a baseball game the other day on my channel with the cards and dice, which wasn't too bad, but it's baseball. That's very
Right.
simple.
Hmm.
Football, on the other hand, you got to pick your defenses,
Yeah.
defensive alignment, offensive alignment, find out who's running the ball, get the yardage, get the play. It's going to take you 8 hours to play a game.
I think that's one of the 4th Street software stuff. I think that's something I'm going to look at down the road when like there'll be a day that'll be like, something I really want a complex hockey game. I really do. And I think that's where I'm going to go. But right now, I'm not sure if I quite want to do that yet. But it's nice to know that it's there, that I could really kind of try to get into something that's going to really, take me all day and maybe it'll be awesome. I don't know. You
You
know,
know what we really, and I hate to say this, but the game that I wish they created was the APA hockey game. They need to have a digital APA hockey game.
Yeah. Yeah.
They have it for baseball, and I'm surprised. I'm surprised they haven't put the effort into making it for the hockey. To be
That
honest,
would be kind of nice. That way they could have it all on your screen and click around
right?
and just,
Click on
yeah,
it. You'd be
that'd be
able to
kind of
play a
neat.
game in a reasonable time.
Yeah. VL, thanks for stopping by. And LK says, here's the thing. If you like season ticket baseball, then you'll like Dynasty League. Has a very similar mechanic. And he'd go so far as to say season ticket is a refined Dynasty League. Yeah, I would. Yeah, because I think it's a 3 dice roll, and it looks very similar. I think that's a 1 to 999 roll. I think
Correct.
with
Yes. It's a
Dynasty League.
50-50
Yeah.
system. Half the results come off the batter, half comes off the pitcher. And it does have lefty righty splits. There is a lot of stats and ratings, um, to get the jump, speed of the runners and everything. So yeah, it's I've played it quite a bit back in the day. I kind of went away from it because um, it's expensive. Like
Is it?
everything they do is expensive. Like if you want a season, it's expensive. So and just the computer stuff is $15 a month, which I mean that adds up.
Yeah.
$15 a month.
Right. Let's see. St. Patrick. He goes, I've played more hockey on the tabletop than I've ever watched on TV. Do you have any sports like that? Do we have any sports that we play more than we watch? I would say baseball. I would say baseball. I play a lot of baseball here in the channel. I play a lot of offline baseball, and I don't watch any baseball on TV.
I haven't watched a football or hockey game in probably 4 years. I don't watch. I literally what I do now is at 11 o'clock at night, I go to YouTube and I watch the highlight videos, the ones that are 8 minutes
Yeah.
long.
Perfect. Yeah.
And I watch those and I watch the whole game and all the action and everything that happens. And I watch the 8 minutes. I don't watch TV anymore. I got a TV and this TV
Yeah.
hasn't been on in probably 2 years.
I think I'm the same way. I'll turn it on and catch bits and pieces, like, after dinner, sit down, I'll watch a few minutes, or Monday Night Football's on, I'll watch a few minutes. But like to sit and say, okay, I'm going to sit and I'm going to watch an entire game of either football or baseball or hockey, whatever, football, doesn't really happen. It's just, if it's on, I'll catch some of it. I like to watch the end of games sometimes, and like at 4 o'clock on a Sunday, it's kind of neat to see them bounce around on the NFL Network with the games that are happening. So that's kind of neat.
Like the wife came in the other night. She was getting ready to go to bed, and the Chiefs and the Eagles were on, and it was like 2 minutes left in the game. So, yeah, I'll go watch it. It's coming down the last minute. I'll watch the last 2 minutes.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but to sit and watch the whole thing,
sit down and it's like I just can't stand. Like every 5 minutes, you're watching commercial after commercial. It's just crazy.
I don't even think I watch movies anymore. I mean, again, I look at it, it's like hour and a half, hour and 45 minutes, 2 hours to watch a movie. It's like, oh man, I don't know what it is. Back in the day, I used to love watching movies. Now I kind of just, I look at my time and it's like, okay, this is going to get done at X time. Do I really want to go from now till X watching a movie? It might be a great movie. I don't know, but I find myself, I'm just too fidgety for that. I think I'd rather be doing this. I'd rather be making cards and cutting cards or playing a game than sitting there watching a game.
Yeah, it's exactly what I think. I can get a game done, play my game, and then go watch the highlight of the game that I didn't watch in 8 minutes and not miss anything. Yep. But did you see? Speaking of quick drive games or quick playing games, I got the Glory Days college football. I know you're not a college football fan, but Anthony's working on a pro version. I know
I did hear that. Yeah.
So that's coming around soon. Yeah. So
I have my eye on that for sure. Yeah. Ron told me good things about that. But yeah, college, I just have a hard. College is. Was never my thing. I mean, on Saturday, if I'm home, will I watch some college football? Yeah, but I couldn't tell you who was who. I think the last college football game I watched was the Flutie Bowl, when the Flutie for Boston College in 1984. I think it's the last college football game I watched.
God.
Yeah, I watched that whole thing. Yeah, that was a great one there.
Well, I know you're a pro guy, and we're always looking for a football game that's going to take an hour or less to play. So.
Yeah, I heard that. I heard good things about that. So I got my eye on that. LK says Dynasty League is built on Pursue the Pennant engine. Yeah, I think I remember that. LK says his dream of a cricket game will have to wait. Yeah. Jamie, he plays more games than he watches on TV. I think maybe it's just this because we're the older guys and I'd rather play Jim Rice and guys like that than to watch modern teams that I don't know anybody. So the modern game, especially baseball, I like the pitch clock. I think that kind of sped things up a lot. But I just find that the modern games, like I said, the commercials, the hockey with the dashboard dads racing around, I have a hard time watching it. My eyes go googly. But But yeah, I think like I say, I'd rather play the older games, and so I find myself playing more. That's why I printed out all these teams. I printed out some teams from '95, from '78. I'm going to play the Red Sox, Yankees, Bucky Dent game. All these things I want to go play that are all in the past, and none of them in the future, or the present. So
Present, right? Yeah.
maybe that's what it is. Maybe we just kind of enjoy the seasons we enjoy more than the current seasons. Maybe that's it. I'm not
I
sure.
think it's I think it's for me it doesn't really matter the season. It's just that I'm playing something. I enjoy the play, and I just find that more interesting than watching the game anymore. It just watching I don't know if it's just because we're old and we've been doing this for all these years now, and we're kind of moved on from watching it. I don't know. I mean, some of my friends still watch it and stuff. But I just don't. I don't watch it. I'd
I think
rather
it's a
play it. I'd
priority thing.
rather
When I
do it
was in
myself.
my teens and early 20s, I never missed a Bruins game. I watched all 82 and all playoffs. It just unless I had to work, I didn't miss a playoff game. And I remember, my dad, when he was alive at the time, I was like, "Oh, the Bruins were on tonight," and he was the biggest Bruins fan. He got me in. He was watching the Orr days and the whole, but he's the one that got me into hockey. And then when I was 21, when he had me, he had me young. I'm 21. I'm all excited. He's now he's 40. And he's just like, yeah, whatever. I'm like, what do you mean, whatever? The Bruins are on tonight. Yeah, I'm gonna watch a movie. So somehow when he was young, he was all into it, and then he got older, and he's like, yeah, whatever. And I couldn't understand that. But now that I'm older, it's like, Bruins in the Stanley Cup Finals. Yeah, good, I guess. It's like it's just not a priority for me anymore.
Yeah,
I don't know what it
it
is. It's
is.
hard to
It
describe.
is. You change. I mean, the older you get, I don't know if it's just the fact that we realize, we only have so many hours on the earth, and you might want to do something while you're here, and just sitting there watching somebody else do something isn't doing something. For me, it's not like watching people play a sport is not doing anything.
Yeah,
Me playing the sport is actually doing something.
I think it's the theater of the mind with what we do.
Mhm.
Even on the computer, it's still theater of the mind to a certain degree. I'm playing season ticket here, and I got, Chet Lemon, and he's a deep drive to left field. And now I got to roll to see if he gets that home run. And I'm picturing Chet Lemon in Fenway Park, and I'm picturing the ball and Rice going back looking up.
Yeah,
And that's all in my head.
yeah,
And
yeah.
and that brings back good times. No, not that the Red Sox lost, but you know what I mean. And then it's like roll it. It's like that's out of here. Chet Lemon with a home run, and he's rocking Renko, whoever was on the mound for the Red Sox, and that is more entertaining to me than sitting there like this with a bag of chips
Right,
watching
right.
people play and just no, don't get me wrong, sometimes at the end of the day it's nice just to chill out, and I don't have the mental capacity to play these games here, and it's fun just to watch TV. But a lot of times, I'd rather have my own entertainment here, the theater of the mind going on, whatever game I'm playing, baseball, football, hockey, whatever it is, and you are creating this,
Hmm.
and it's
Yeah,
important to you,
yeah. Right,
it's much more personal.
right. It's almost like being there because you're there. It's
Hmm.
it's weird because yeah, I know we're not in Fenway Park, but it's we can imagine we are in Fenway Park,
Hmm.
and we can almost feel, smell the hot dogs roasting
Yeah.
and the popcorn. You can almost smell it when you're
Just
sitting here.
the idea that you're creating this, and it's like, so you roll the dice, and it's hit to the outfield, and it's like, is it deep enough to get the guy home from third? And that anticipation is really kind of cool. If you're playing hockey, it's like, here's a guy, he's going to get a shot on net with a minute to go. Can he
Hmm.
can he tie the game? Shots in range. It's up to the goalie to make the save now.
Hmm.
That anticipation there is so cool, and then you can picture the goalie either making the save or beating him between the legs or something crazy like this. So these are all things that we do, and it's really important to us. It really is, and I think I'd rather do that than you know just sit back and watch a game. And I have watched the game and I don't mind it, but this is way better for me. Very therapeutic, by the way. Very therapeutic.
It's even when I'm not doing it, I would rather watch you do it than watch somebody else on TV. I would much rather watch Sports Time Machine or Baseball Demos or Al or whoever. I mean, when I was watching Al play Appa the other day, I was like, damn, I want to go get an Appa game out right now.
I did too. I did.
I
pulled out my Appa and I rolled the game while he was playing. I did.
Right.
I was like, now I gotta play.
I want to do it. I want to go. Oh yeah.
And it's always fun.
I gotta try.
It's fun watching somebody learn a new game too. And I didn't realize he had never played Appa.
Yeah,
and so he was learning it, and he was falling into some of the same mistakes that I did early on. And then he corrected himself and he got going. And he kept trying to I was like, well, what about this? Or what about that? What about this? And I'm like, Al, roll the dice and look at the charts. It'll all explain itself. Don't worry about the what ifs. The charts in Appa will tell you everything you need to know. And he started to do that. He finally just started trusting the charts. He's like, oh, this makes sense now. Oh, this makes sense now. And he's like, you're right. Just look at the chart, and the charts will lead the way. Yep. And that's what's great about the Appa game. It really, you don't have to overthink anything in Appa. The chart will tell you what's going to happen.
Yeah.
And so you don't have to worry about this, that, the other thing. It'll take care of itself. Richard asks, have we seen or tried the 49 on the turf football? I've seen it, and I've seen them play that on YouTube there. I'm not sure what to make of it though. That's the thing. I saw it and it's just kind of not sure what to make of it. Probably need to see more of it. And once upon a time there was an Appa hockey computer game. I have it. It's an Appa DOS game, but you don't do anything. You just hit the button and watch things happen.
Yeah.
And then I think you change the lines once in a while, but you don't do anything. You just you don't do anything. So I got it to work in DOSBox. I think I put a video up on it, and I think I actually got stuck. Like when I had to go change the lines, I got stuck, and no matter what button I hit, nothing worked. And so I just exited out. I couldn't figure it out. It just wasn't fun. It was just probably at the time it might have been a good game because it was on a computer, but yeah, they had it on back in the 90s. Not sure why it wasn't continued because it stinks. That's
why nobody bought it. Yeah. I really wish they would. I mean, if they create a decent game, it could be fun, and I would think, a lot of people would be interested in it.
I think they might. I think it would help a lot of people too if they had a computer game that you could play. It might help you learn the cards and dice game because
exactly.
Those rules in Appa hockey, those rules are brutal. And it took me a while to kind of figure it out and just how they word things. It was, I almost was going to like rewrite the entire rule book and send it to them. Say, hey, use this instead. Because sometimes the way they'd say, if this is higher than this or this is low, it's like the way they wrote it was like, wow, that is confusing. I understand what you're saying, but there's a better way of saying that we could have figured this out,
Yeah. And fortunately for us, I had learned part of the game, and so I was playing it, and then you came along and you started learning it, and so we were kind of learning it together. You were helping me, I was helping you. I was watching what you were doing, you were watching what I was doing. So we were kind of tag teaming against it to learn it, and we even created some charts and stuff together, and I think that really helped me get over the hump. But you're right. I mean, if we had to, think about those people back in the 80s and 90s who didn't have the internet to rely on people.
Yeah. There was a couple of things that I found that helped me out. The first one was the assist chart, that somebody had posted the assist chart somewhere, that you roll the dice once and you get the assist. It's like, it's the top, it's either 1, 2, 3, or 4 a goalie. So it's the top assist, second assist, third assist, or fourth assist on, because there's a goal scorer, so he's not included in the 5, so it's only the 4. And then it also, if there was 1 assist, then it's this column. If it's 2 assists, it's this column. And so now I get on assists, I get 1 roll instead of rolling 100 times to get my assist. That sped it up. And the penalties too. I used the Mike.
I was going to say you came across the penalty chart you love too.
And
Because
it's
that
just
was
so
one thing that
now,
always slows down the game.
yeah,
The penalties. Oh my
penalties and
god.
penalties and all hockey games are just a nightmare.
Oh my
And this
god.
this one here, when it says penalty, you roll the dice, you look in the guy's chart, it tells you if it's a penalty or not. Sometimes it's not, and or is it a double minor? Is it a major? I mean, what is it? A matching? It's his chart, and he went through. He explained all his percentages and stuff, and it's like that's good enough for me. It's good enough for me. I'm not going to sit there and roll and roll and roll and
Yes,
roll to get a
that's the
penalty.
one thing that drives me crazy about APA is they want you to roll 16 times just to find out which guy caused the penalty. It's like,
Yeah,
oh my
just
god,
this
seriously.
this chart's great. Roll the dice. I look right at it. It's it's 11 to 66. Where is it? Okay, boom, there it is. It's a penalty. It's 2 minutes. It's 4 minutes. It's like perfect. I really do like that. LK says because that became NASCAR for him. I'd rather play a game of red, white, and blue racing than watch a current NASCAR race. My favorite drivers have retired, and I hate how they have gimmicked up the races. So yeah, he's going back to the time when he enjoyed NASCAR, and
Yeah,
he's playing those
yeah.
seasons. And I think that's kind of what we do here.
That was
ST Patrick, ID Jester. I've always wanted to ask a versatile board gamer among gamers. Why do you think there's more of a willingness to play 4, 6, 8 hour war in other board games, but not a 2 to 3 hour sports game? That's a great question for you.
ooh, that is a great question.
Wow.
ST
Wow.
Patrick.
That's why. So why would somebody be willing to
Ooh,
play
I
4
don't
hours or more?
man, I just don't know right off the top of my head. You're right. You're absolutely right. I could sit down and play Nemesis for 4 or 6 hours and not blink an eye. But if I have to sit a sports game down for 2 hours, I'm going to put a bullet in my head because that is a great question. Why is it okay for some games but not for others? I don't know the answer to that. I'll have to bring that up on our War Room show this
That
weekend and
yeah.
have the guys talk about it and see if we can come up with an answer. That is a great question.
Do you think it's just kind of a mindset that it's some of these big games that you play, the war games or the other ones, like some of the sci-fi games or whatever, the gothic games there, that it's gonna be epic, but it's gonna be a half day thing. I just wonder just if it's
Mm,
the mindset of it, or maybe
no,
the game is designed.
I don't think it's the mindset. I mean, yes, going in, it's going to take 2 hours or 4 hours, or it's going to take several settings, and that's okay. I mean, there's a lot of campaign games. Like when you look at Gloomhaven, right? You're going on a campaign. You got one mission, then you go to the second mission, the third mission. You got 28 missions to go through. It's going to
Okay,
be
yeah. How about this? Do you think that with a sports game, let's say football, okay, 2.5 hour football game, it's what's the defense, what's the offense, what's the play? It's a run, 2 yards, 2nd and 8. It's the same thing over and over for 2 to 2.5 hours. Whereas some of these other games, maybe there's so much different things going on that it's not the same repetitive thing over and over. You think maybe that's it, that
that could be that actually.
there's so much more going on than just the same old over and over and over.
That is a possibility. It's also like I hate to say it, but the baseball games you can get them done in an hour, hour and a half, and even a long game is an hour and a half. But you're having a good time when you're doing it. For me, for a football game, once I get to like an hour and a half, after that, I am done. I am spent. I think it's just I don't know. It just takes so much energy and so much. You're constantly doing things. You're flipping cards. You're constantly thinking. When you're playing some of these other games that I've got stacked up all over, you're not mentally taxed as much as you are in a sports game. I think sports games are a lot more effort, I guess is the best word to put it. It's a lot
I
more.
agree.
You got to put a lot more of yourself into it.
I know that when I used to play Skyrim on Xbox or whatever, I'd play that all night
Mm-hmm.
without even blinking. I come home from work, I have dinner. She goes to bed. I come down here at 8 o'clock, and it's 4, 5, 6 hours later. I'm still playing Skyrim, not even blinking an eye.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's like,
Oh
oh, it's
yeah.
2 in the morning. Oh, I should get to bed because I got to work in the morning. But you were never sitting there thinking, oh my gosh, I'm gonna play 4 hours of Skyrim. I don't think so. I mean, you just didn't think that way. But
Right.
with the sports
Right.
games, you kind of look at
You're
it as I look
absolutely
around here.
right. I don't know. I just don't know what the answer is for that. That's a great question.
Yeah.
There's probably something, and I don't know what it is, but you're right. I would sit. I mean, just the other day, I played Forza Horizon, and it was 4.5 hour stream, and I was like, "Holy shit! I got to go to bed. It's past midnight."
Yeah. 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 I don't know what it is either. I don't know what it is. Bears Den says he likes to watch the old games on YouTube, especially if they have the commercials. I like the old car commercials and stuff like that. It's kind of neat.
Oh my gosh! If you what we got away with in the 70s and 80s,
Yeah.
there would be riots in the streets nowadays if some of these people remembered some of the commercials.
Oh, yeah.
Like there's
Yeah.
skits with like people intimidating Adolf Hitler with swastikas on their shoulders and everything, and it's like, really? Wow.
Well, it just, that and the family dynamics where it was like the husband working and the wife at home baking the cake and stuff like that. And
Yeah.
just that's not acceptable anymore. And
Oh yeah.
that's just the way it was back then,
It was. It was. It
Yeah.
was crazy.
Yeah.
People laughed. I mean, Archie
Yeah.
Bunker. Are you
Yeah.
kidding
We
me?
just
If he
laughed at
said
that
that
stuff.
stuff
Yeah.
nowadays, oh my God,
Yeah.
he would get shot. He would
Yeah.
be shot.
People just are so easily worked up about things. Yeah. D. Scott Howard. I haven't watched an NBA game since the Sonics left Seattle. I didn't realize the Sonics had left Seattle
I
till the
was
other
just going
day.
to say the same thing. I didn't think. I thought they were still in.
someone, I don't know if it was in Ron's stream or somebody was in the stream talking about what the Sonics leaving. I was like, and going to New Orleans. I'm like, the Sonics left Seattle. I didn't know that.
Oh
Last
my
time I
God.
knew that they were still playing there. Oh,
Yeah.
that's just shows you how much
Wow.
I watched that. Yeah.
Shows you how much we pay attention to the NBA. I actually I've got a couple NBA games this year, and I purchased them. I bought Stratomatic basketball and I bought the replay basketball. Both of them are really good games.
Mm-hmm.
I would give them 2 thumbs up. Both of them very good, interesting games. They're going to take you 3 hours to play a game.
Now, the replay, did you get the PC or the cards and dice?
I got the cards and dice.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Yeah.
I have the PC game, and it real. I don't have the cards and dice, but you're playing cards and dice with this PC game, and it's fantastic. I really, really liked it. I was doing the Celtics season on my old computer before it died, and I was playing that every night, like during COVID. I'd come on and play a Celtics game every night, and that felt like a basketball game.
You should get the cards and dice. I'm telling you.
Maybe I do like the computer game though, because it handles all the substitutions and things to me.
It handles it, but I mean, it's not like hockey where you're going to take new lines every 2 minutes. Like you're only changing out 1 or 2 guys every like the if I'm trying to remember, the players are rated with a number, and that's how many minutes you have to rest them in a half. And there's some players that are resting 2 minutes, and there's some that are 4, and there's some that are 6. So you're only resting people for a couple minutes, a half.
Yeah.
It's not even like for a quarter. It's like for a half.
I just like how the computer game kind of does it for me. So I can just sit and roll the dice and put in the game, and it's like, okay, whistle, okay, Bird's coming out, and whoever, Havlicek's coming in or whatever, whoever, and I don't have to worry about that stuff. But I did like it because I could follow along, and it's like, this guy passes to this guy, he's going to take the shot. Okay, I need this to be a 22 or less, and the dice rolls, and so I followed along with that game. I did like the replay basketball on
Very
the
good
PC.
game. Very good. I'm just not a basketball guy.
Yeah.
Like I said, I bought it because I'm like, I should try it just to see, just to expand my horizons. And I did play it, and I thought it was really good. And I did 2 live streams, and I got half a game done. So after that, I was like, okay, that's it.
Yeah. Um,
it's gonna take a while to do another half, and I'm not
yeah.
committing to another half.
Yeah, no,
here.
the basketball is another long type
Yeah.
of game. Richard also says in the tabletop games, the heroes never have to retire. Cesar Cedeno is still on the field, and that's a good point. You can play your favorites forever; they never retire. You know.
Yeah, yeah. And we also have skewed memories as well about our favorite seasons and our favorite
Oh
players.
yeah, yeah.
And it's interesting that you forget these things because I was just watching a football game, like the actual broadcast from I think it was 1978 Cowboys and Pittsburgh Steelers. And Lynn Swan dropped the ball like 3 times in this game, and they were ripping him apart like he was a
Yeah.
bum and he was nothing. And it was funny because I'm like, dude, this is Lynn Swan you're talking about. But
It is. I don't know how many times I've watched Bobby Orr highlights, right? And it's like now Orr over the line, split today, score, Bobby Orr, and the Bruins are on the board. It's 4-1 Toronto, and I'm like, how are the Bruins losing to Toronto 4-1 if Bobby Orr is skating through everybody? It's like, doesn't Bobby Orr score on every shift? It's not. It should be 8-0 Boston. But I was doing it every time. It's like they would give the score. It's like, and no, they score against like the Penguins in the early 70s. They'll score, and the game's tied at 4. The Penguins scored 4 goals on Bobby Orr and the Bruins in the Boston Garden. How is this possible? But yeah, we have this warped sense of
we have
our heroes were infallible, never made a mistake.
no idea. You do not remember these things. I'm telling you. Oh my god, it was so funny watching these players because I'm just like, what do you mean? Like, Tony Dorsett, like he ran it like 10 times for like 11 yards, total. And like, I'm like, doesn't he run like 40 yards every time he gets the ball? Wait,
Exactly.
what
Yeah.
happened?
You see the highlights, and that's what's in your head. You just
Right,
like, yeah,
exactly.
it's like,
all we do is remember the big plays. We don't remember everything else.
I watched a video on the 76 or the 76 or the 76 Buccaneers, right? When you were done watching that video, you'd swear that the next season they were going to win the Super Bowl. How they talked about how the team's and up and coming and the coach and first year bumps, but look at this guy and look at him throw the ball. He's going to be terrific next year. And the offensive line is young and they're coming around. The way they pumped up this 0-14 team, you'd be like, man, yeah, next year I'm getting season tickets because they're going to Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, no, they're horrible.
Oh my gosh. And like some of the players on the teams, like I said, it was 1978, and there was this running back for Pittsburgh, and I was like, who is this? And I had to go to like Football Reference to try and remember who this guy was because I had no recollection of this guy. But they were talking like he was the next Jim Brown. Like,
oh yeah.
It's like, who is this you're talking about?
Yeah, and never heard of him again. Yeah. Jerome says he plays war games with others that can take 50 plus hours. And he goes, he doesn't mind spending 3 hours on a sports game as long as the game produces the feel of a real game. Yeah, I would say that. I mean, when I actually sit down and play Apra Hockey Bones, and I'm into it for an hour and a half or whatever it is, it is. It's quite an entertaining game, and you have a blast with it, and you really do. And you feel like when you're done, you're like, oh man, I feel like I was at the game. So there's a good feeling to be had with that. But I think it's the initial hump that we got to try to get over. It's like you said, okay, what do I want to do? It's like I can play baseball, I can play hockey, or I can play football. Which mountain do I want to climb here? And sometimes I'm just going to pull out the basebole game. I can be done with it quicker, and just I think we think a little bit like that too.
That's the same mindset. After I watched Al, I'm like, I'm going to play an APA game. I know you were playing APA, so I'm like, well, you know what? I'm going to mix it up. Am I going to invest the extra time to do the master game?
Yeah.
I thought about it.
Yeah.
I think I want to invest the extra time. Is it worth the extra investment? All the extra effort?
What are you getting?
What are you getting for your time? For the buck? Maybe that's why. Maybe that's why sports are harder because you're not getting as much back. as like some of these other games? Give you more feedback? Like you're playing,
There's more going on,
there's more
maybe.
going on. You
More to
feel like
think
you're
about.
more.
I've seen some of these games and there's like thousands of pieces and tokens, and it's just like it's not just a guy at the plate, and it's not just a guy throwing a pass or running the ball. It's like you have all these things going on. You get commerce happening and relationships happening, and then you got your battles going on. So there's a lot more happening. And Mo kind of says maybe sports games are just more repetitious in the actions of the games,
Yeah, yeah.
And
That could be.
SJG Jamie, I think war games, you often have more decisions to make to keep your brain active. Maybe. Yeah. I mean, like I say, you're playing baseball and hockey, just kind of doing the same thing, and maybe you have to do a little bit more, whatever. I think so.
For me, and I just for me, after if I'm playing a sports game, whether it's baseball, hockey, basketball, I now after about an hour, hour and a half, I've just reached my limit. I just cannot continue. I just have to take a break. You know, I just can't. I can't stream like a 2 or 3 hour game,
Yeah.
a sports game anymore. It's just too long.
Good point by Jerome here. He thinks because it's face to face for the long war games, where sports games are usually played solo. And he says he's played many face to face strat football 3 hour games, and it was exciting. That's another aspect too. When you're sitting there by yourself, it's different than when you're with somebody. Like we're sitting here chatting, when we're looking up at the clock, like holy cow, it's getting late. But if you were here by yourself, time goes a little slower. So maybe that's what it is.
Absolutely,
When
absolutely.
you're playing with somebody, you're more engaged, more things happening, and time flies. Maybe that's
And
it too.
you have that competition going on. You now have you're against somebody. It's now it's a battle. You're invested in it now. You're taking on your enemy. You're trash talking. You're telling them what a great job
Yeah,
your
maybe.
guys are
Yeah.
doing and how terrible their guys are.
Yeah, a couple of good points here brought up here. Joshua says he doesn't play war games, but maybe it's the ratio of game time to real time. A 3 hour hockey bone sims is actually longer than a real game, but a real war battle takes longer than the simulation time. So maybe it's a time ratio thing there. Again, you never really want to play a sports game that's longer than the actual game. That kind of defeats the purpose of, I think, unless it's a really good game. But like I say, wars take whatever, weeks, months, or years, and you're playing those things in 8 hours. So that's
Well, I
really
mean, yeah, I
condensed.
mean, but most of the time you're not playing a full war. You're playing a battle,
A
but the
skirmish,
battles
yeah.
take weeks or months. You're right, and you're playing it in 8 or 10 hours or whatever. Hmm.
Another Richard also says a table sports game that matches the length of a real game is 3 hours or so. A sim you don't expect to last the same length. A war, the real length would take years, so 8 hours is actually short. So another time ratio consideration for your war games here. And Steve Patrick does say that a Critical Role game of D&D does take years. Yeah. Yeah.
It's interesting. I don't know what the answer is. Like I said, I'll bring it up this week with the War Room crew and see what ideas we can get from them and see
Yeah.
if
It's
because
an
I think it's
interesting.
a great discussion, to be
Yeah.
honest.
Yeah.
Because
That is a great
I can,
question.
like I said, I after like an hour and a half, I am done playing
Yeah.
a sports game. But I could sit here for 4 hours, especially if I'm playing like a game on the computer or something. It takes no effort to
Yeah.
do
It
that.
does.
But if I'm playing like a regular board game, I could play it for hours and sometimes 3 or 4 hours and not be totally spent. I don't know why sports spend me as much as they do.
Yeah. That I don't know. JT Dutch does clarify that the Sonics went to Oklahoma City. Is it the Oklahoma City Sonics? I don't know.
Oklahoma City. See, those were the late '90s or early '90s. Late
Remember
'80s, early '90s were like my basketball time. Yeah, the Jordan
the
and
Jordan years
the
were good.
bad boys from the Pistons.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was
What was
kind
it?
of
Rodman with a crazy hairdo and
Rodman,
stuff like
yeah.
that. Yeah, he was nuts. He was fun. Sports Time Machine. He says, S.G. Patrick, I played Cards and Dice Pro Wrestling Superstar in college and played hours at a time with friend. The game that PWI advertised. It was such a fun game. Yeah, I think back in the day we could have probably played more longer, you know. And ST Patrick chimes in and says maybe it is the face-to-face thing versus solo thing. But he says he also likes long sports games, but often will stop at halftime and come back the next day.
Hmm. I think it probably does have to do with the solo and you're doing it yourself and you don't have anyone to rub ideas off of, or you don't have any interaction with anyone other than the game.
Hmm.
So you're not getting any personalized feedback. I don't know. It's weird. Like when I'm playing, I'm just trying to think of like if I'm playing Terraforming Mars solo, I could play that for hour or two, but the game is giving me feedback. I'm playing cards on the
Right.
table. I'm doing things. Um,
But I think in the scheme of things, if you're playing Terraforming Mars or if I'm playing Skyrim, one of my plays of Skyrim, I was 200 hours. 200 hours I played Skyrim. So if I sit down for 4 hours, that's 4 hours out of 200. You know what I mean? Whereas if you play a football game, I guess if you played 10 minutes out of 2 hours, that'd be the same ratio. You know what I mean? So and maybe because it's just such a bigger game, it's more vast that when you put in chunks of time, it doesn't feel like chunks of time. Maybe, D. Scott Howard brings up the joke about Appa basketball that no one ever finished the game, himself included. Yeah, I heard that was a long, long game. So yeah, that's another one.
I know Tebow was going to try to be the first one to ever complete a APA basketball game.
Yeah. Dan Burke, does anybody remember Steve Smith put the puck in his own net trying to make a pass to hit Fury in Game 7 of Smythe Division Finals?
Yes,
Yeah,
I remember
that
game.
It was weird. He tried to go across the crease. I don't know why. And he hit Fury on the back of the leg and went in. I think that was a 1-0 game. I don't know if that was in the second or third period, but yeah, it's like, what were you thinking, dude? I mean, seriously. Oh,
that
man.
was that doesn't. I think that was the one that ended the dynasty there in Edmonton, wasn't it?
I think it
I think
might
they had
have.
won
Yeah.
like the 2 years prior to that,
Yeah.
and then they were going for a three-peat,
Yeah.
and then that's the play that ended it.
Those Calgary Edmonton series were so good back in the day, and Edmonton always won them, but Calgary won a few. Got that a couple times. I think they actually won one. So, but yeah, that was nutty. One of the Fanner says one of the best examples is watching Barry Sanders highlights. You think he ran 60 yards every time he touched the ball, but he had a ton of 1 or 2 yard runs. Yep.
Yeah,
it does.
we don't remember the 1 and 2 yarders though.
No,
ever. Yeah, my favorite time in the hockey is the mid 90s with Detroit and Colorado.
Oh, yeah.
Those series every year were so good.
What was disappointing about the 90s? It was the Western Conference Finals were the best series.
Oh yeah.
And then you get to the Stanley Cup.
Eastern Conference wasn't even around. I mean,
it was just those Detroit Colorado series, and were just so good. And the Detroit St. Louis series, whatever it was, and then the winner would go to the Cup final, and the Cup finals would be a snooze fest. But those Rock'em Sock'em Western Conference Finals is like that was it. So as soon as that was done, you just turned off the TV because the Stanley Cup Finals was not gonna beat that. It just wasn't.
Yeah, there was quite a few really good rivalries there in the Western Conference, but it's funny how everything's cyclical because now the Eastern Division just dominates, and the Western Division doesn't. I mean, there's nothing in the Western Division anymore.
Well, Vegas
especially
won
with
last
Chicago,
year, but Tampa Bay,
last year was a fluke with Las Vegas.
Florida. Florida got there. Yeah. Most says that drive-by-drive football games seem too short. Yeah, sometimes when you play a drive-by-drive game, it gets over in 15 to 20 minutes and you have your results, but you do feel like you still feel hungry. You know what I mean? It's like you ate something, but you're still hungry for football.
Yeah.
So yeah, but again, it just thinks you got the drive games, and the next step is
Yeah, but
to.
that's where the glory days
I
football comes into play
I did
because
hear that.
there
Yeah,
are 3 modes to play this. You got the short play mode, which is drive, you just do the drive. You have long play mode, which is play by play, and then you have a hybrid mode, which is where you play, you get the drive result, and then you pick up the drive in progress. So you make it, so far in the drive. And so you don't, if the drive is like 10 plays in, you already pick it up. You're on the
mm,
25-yard line or wherever.
yeah. I'm really interested in that. Ron told me about that, and I said, yeah, I definitely want to check that out.
So then you're only playing a couple play by plays to end the drive. And so
Hmm.
you get the game done in like an hour. I think that would be perfect for hockey. Like, how do we get it to like skip all the boring times that there's nothing going on and get to the part where it is
Yeah,
interesting and then add some meat to that part of the game,
right. Well,
you
that's
know?
where like shootout hockey and stone cold hockey do that. They you can get through a game pretty quick. So maybe you play those for 2 periods and then jump over to APA or something like that for the third period. I don't know. I don't know. That's an idea. Let's see. LK also says that he would add that in most war games you aren't keeping stats, and that's something that extends a length of a sports game. That could be too. Noble stops by. Hi, Noble. Excuse me. I play only season replays if a game takes me over 35 to 40 minutes to play. It won't make my table. So yeah. So he likes to do the
Yeah, but
season
you're doing
replays.
a season replay, which means
He
you're
wants.
committing to 162 games, though. So if you can't play a game that's going to take 2 hours to play, if you're playing 162 games.
Hmm.
So, I mean, it also depends on what you're trying to do. Like when I play my hockey games with APA, it's the playoffs because then I'm committing just best of 7.
Yeah. So
I'm
many
not
games. Yeah.
committing to 82 games and playing the
Right.
whole regular season.
Right. Yeah. So Jamie was saying that Alpha Squad Leader takes an hour or two for 15 to 30 minutes of action, and D. Scott Howard's Appa Saddle Racing in a 2-minute race can take 30 minutes. So yeah, so there's a few things that take a little bit longer. Hockey fan 76, thanks for coming by. Haven't seen you in a while. Sometimes I just don't have enough time to play sports PC sims, but basic gameplay, a quick play games like Shootout. Yeah, that's the beauty of Shootout. It just is. It just in games like that you can
It's
bang
it's
out a game.
it's
It
I
feels
mean,
like
I
you've
got a
played a
game
full
done
game.
in 15 minutes, and that was live streaming it. And I was like, really? It's only been 16 minutes since I started, and I got the
Yeah,
whole game done. And I was like,
yeah.
and I
But
had, it was 3-2, I think was the final score.
but you got the goalie's got
You
to
got
make
the
the
goals,
saves.
a
They
few
got
assists. There's
rebounds. I
a few
mean,
penalties in there.
it's a little bit of everything. It really is. It's a
I do like,
fantastic
and
game.
I'll tell you what, I wasn't a big fan of that Stone Cold Hockey right off the bat, but it's kind of warming up to me because it's got a little meat to its bones that you don't
It
see
does.
at first.
Yeah, yeah. It's got that. I keep calling it the momentum meter, but it's not the momentum. It's the strength that each team has, and every time they get hit, you lose. It goes
Oh,
down a
yes,
peg,
yes.
and then
Right.
at some point, it says who has the most stamina. I think it might be stamina. Which team has the most stamina?
Yes.
And they're going to get the shot on net. And I remember when Ron and I were test running that game. We played a game from 70s. I think it was 74, 75, Buffalo, Philadelphia. And Philadelphia took penalty after penalty after penalty, and they ground down the Sabres till the Sabres had zero stamina. And so for the rest of the game, anytime it was a stamina check, Flyers won every single one of those. And you could and it was like a 1-0 game, but you could feel how the Flyers just were wearing down the other team, physically punishing them. And
Mm.
that's what that game does. It presents a narrative and a description of the game. And we got done that game, and I forget what the score was, low scoring game. It's like, boy, did that just feel like you watched the 70s game where one team was just punishing the other team? They didn't care about scoring goals. They just wanted to hit you. So that
Well,
game,
this was one of the few games, and I always thought that this was a great idea but there's not very many sports games that actually adjust players' ratings as you play them. If you think about it, most games are set. You have
Right.
a
Yeah.
card and you read the card and you get the result off the card, and the stats and everything stay the same. There's very few games that adjust the stats in the game. Stone Cold Hockey adjust the stats, the stamina. You can get your goalie rating can go up and down. There's not a
Mm.
lot of games that do that, and I think that's a. I wish more games would do that, to be honest, because I think it's a good way of showing how the game is progressing.
But I think it's the hot and cold factor too. I mean, you go into a game and you can have a goalie that's just terrible. They're cold, and they can't make a save, or you got a receiver that drops a pass, or just So when that happens, when they drop ratings, I think that's kind of neat. Okay, they're having a bad
Yeah,
day. They're having a bad day.
absolutely,
You
absolutely.
know. Let me see. Where are we here in the chat room? And like Jamie says, the days were longer when we were young. Now our days about 45 minutes. Yeah, by the time you're done doing everything, yeah. It is. 200 hours sounds like a game of APA basketball. And JT, they're the Oklahoma City Thunder. And don't get me started on the two versions of the Charlotte Hornets. There's been a lot of bizarre stuff in the NBA.
Charlotte Hornets, they were great. They had what was his name? What was his name? The player that played for the Hornets that was really, really good.
Oh yeah.
Milbury or
I forget. There was a guy that was really good.
Yeah, what was his name? A real tall, skinny guy. Oh yeah, he was really good.
I forget his name now.
That
Yeah,
was
but
back in the 90s.
and then he said it did. Calgary went on to play Montreal in the Cup that year. So after that Edmonton own goal. Yep, that's what it was.
Ended the streak. The
Battle of Alberta.
Alberta.
Yep. D. Scott Howard, Utah Jazz. Does Utah still have the Jazz?
I think so. Yeah, why wouldn't they? Yeah, Moses Malone.
Or is it Utah Grizzlies now?
No.
No.
The Grizzlies are. Isn't that Minnesota Grizzlies or? Good thing we're not. Good thing we're not doing sports trivia with basketball.
Oh my God! Yeah, I just don't know the basketball. I'm sorry, I just don't. I don't follow it. Just don't know. I followed the Bird era into the Jordan era, and then after that, I checked out. Occasionally, when the Celtics are doing well, like 08, I watched a little bit, but I still couldn't tell you who's what. Penn's Cap series were epic in the mid '90s. Yeah, Joey Juneau and guys like that. Yep, there were some fun ones
for sure. Yep.
Claude Lemieux and Chris Draper. Oh, I couldn't stand Claude Lemieux.
There's good stories, man. Good stories. Chelios. Oh yeah.
There were some good ones. Michael's got a question. Good question here. Hi, Michael. What is your favorite or best baseball game you like to play? One that plays pretty quick, but not super quick.
You're asking me?
Yeah, we'll both answer this one. What's your favorite baseball game you like to play?
Well, I bet you we're gonna have different answers because I'm gonna throw a curveball at you guys. A game that I really, really like that not a lot of people play, not a lot of people talk about, but it is a quality game with excellent, excellent cards. That is Ball Classic Baseball.
Really?
It's really good, really quick. You have really good cards. Oh, I just put the cards away, so I don't have them out to show you. But you can order, you can get the printed or you can buy the PDFs. It's based on a simple D6, it's 2D6, just like APA. So you're 11 to 66, just like APA. But some of the cards are read off the batter's card. Some are read off the pitcher's card, unlike APA. So you get the pitcher, much more pitcher interaction with the batter. So that would be my forte for you guys.
I would say if you're talking quick game, okay, not a instant results game or anything like that, or a final score game. If you're talking a quick baseball game, it would have to be probably either APA Basic or Strat Basic because they play super fast. The APA goes so quick. It really does. I mean, you could boom, 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 boom. and the Strat Basic does too. To be fair, when you're looking at Strat Advanced, Season Ticket, Payoff Pitch, Pocket Pennant Run, I'm probably forgetting a couple here as I look around my table here. Those 5 games, time-wise, they're all pretty similar. They really are. They're a little bit more involved than Apper, I think, as far as getting your results. Was Apper and Strat Basic kind of instantaneously get your results. There's not a lot of looking up or trying to figure things out or checking, arms and legs or anything like that. It's a pretty quick game. So for me, if someone said, "Hey, you got 10 or 15 minutes to play a baseball game," I'd probably pull out either Appa Basic or Strat Basic because I know I could bang that
I
out
would say
real
those
quick.
two are the fastest
Yeah.
games out there, especially Appa when you know the numbers. Like once you realize, 14 is going to be a walk, I don't even need to look it up anymore because it's going to be a walk.
Yep. And let me see. Hey, Wills, thanks for coming by. What's your take on Strat PC Baseball? Pros and cons. Happy Thanksgiving to all. I'll go first with that one. I've only been playing it 2 or 3 years, and it took me a while, I'll be honest. It took me a while to get used to how Strat does their PC baseball game because it's different. And how they do things is kind of weird. Like, but now that I figured it out, it's again, it's like anything else. It's easy now. But I definitely would love to see a more modern interface. I really would. But what they have works. It's just a little weird, but it does work. And then once you figure out how to bring in players and change players and do things like that, it gets a little bit easier. The game is I really, really like that you can either roll your own dice or you can have it roll the dice and then you see the results on the card. That really helps me learn the game.
That's exactly, you just took my thunder, man. You
You know,
just stole my thunder.
so as much as it needs an upgrade for the interface and the graphics and the whole bit, it works. It's fine, and it shows enough visuals there. Like you can see the ball. That's all I need to see. I don't need to see the guys running and catch it. I just want to know where the ball goes. I like to see the players in the field. It gives you everything you need as far as what they did at bat during that at bat, how they did during the day. The stat package is unbelievable. If you're a stat person and I'm a stat person, you get any kind of stat you want. It's just in a really old dot matrix style. It really is. But you get it's all there. It's just old. So that's my take on it.
Yeah, you stole my thunder. I would say if you're trying to learn Stratomatic, it is a great it's a great way to do it because the game plays fine. It shows you everything you need to see. You just sometimes have to dig around to try and find what you're looking for because it's just not, as Dave said, it's just not the greatest interface in the world. It needs an update. We've been begging for updates for years and years and years, but it plays fine and it does a great job. Like split results, it shows you the cards. It shows you everything it's doing. You can see it like rolling and trying to find. Oh, boop! There it is.
I like
and
that.
It shows you, it highlights what the play is, and you can see the results. Oh, look, it ground out 4-6-3. Oh, now I get it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I enjoy it. It's old, and I can see how some people wouldn't like it because of it. But if you just give it some time and give it some love, it really does everything you need to do. It really does. Alonzo Mourning, was that who you were thinking of?
That was one of them. Yes.
Okay.
Penny Hardaway was the guy I was thinking of. Now, didn't he play for Charlotte? Penny Hardaway.
Oh, maybe
his name just popped in my head for some reason.
Maybe that was it. LK says the Jazz are still in Utah, so that's good. And the Grizzlies moved from Vancouver to Memphis.
Okay. There you go.
Yeah, Bears.
Memphis. Okay, see, we're we need to get a basketball guy on the show because me and Dave are. It's not our.
Yeah, I know.
Well, if you're talking hockey, that's me and Dave. Like me and Dave, we can talk hockey all day long. So, favorite Dave, who's your favorite non-Bruin hockey player, Dave?
Wow.
You can only get one now.
Right, boy. I can tell you who it's not. It's not Wayne Gretzky. It's not
No,
Wayne Gretzky.
no.
My favorite three are always four are Bruins. Then after that, I could expand off that. Oh boy. I would probably say Tony Esposito, the goalie for the Blackhawks.
Okay. All right.
That's probably who I would go
that
with.
was going to be a guess of mine. That was a guess. I was also thinking probably somebody that was on the Flyers, somebody big and rough and tough, because I know you like the big and rough and tough guys.
Yeah, I'm probably Tony Esposito. Somebody more modern, Steve Yzerman.
Okay.
He was so good. Steve
Yes.
Yzerman is so good.
Underrated for sure.
He was. Yeah, I wasn't a Gretzky guy. I wasn't a huge Lemieux guy because he tended to float. Now, don't get me wrong. Lemieux was fantastic. But I just found him floating a lot. You know, he's not the guy that's going to kill penalties for you, you know. Steve Yzerman, I thought, could do it all. I thought Steve Yzerman was good. But yeah, if I had to pick one non-Bruin, Tony Esposito was my guy. I just always, probably because he was a lefty. You know, he had stick in his left hand. He caught with his right hand. And that was something new because it was always the righty. I was a righty back in the day, you know. And so having a lefty goalie was neat. I always liked the Blackhawks uniform. You know, the Blackhawks were really never a threat for the Bruins either, you know, when I grew up. So it wasn't like the Canadians, you know, so you couldn't hate the Blackhawks, you know. But yeah, that's what I would probably say.
I'll tell you this story.
Brad Park would be a close
Speaking
second.
of the Blackhawks, in 1976, my family, myself, my two brothers, my mother, and my father, we were taking a plane flight from Detroit to Buffalo. Detroit to Buffalo. I didn't know it at the time because I was only like 8 years old. But after we got home, my parents had told me the flight, whatever happened, the Blackhawks couldn't get on their plane, so they scheduled them. We were the only normal family on the plane. The rest of everybody else was Blackhawks.
That's awesome.
And so yeah, so I was like, oh my gosh, that is so crazy. I remember that story, and it was like such a shock as a kid. I was like, you gotta be kidding me. Oh my God.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. That's kind of fun. I think the other person would be Brad Park from the Rangers.
Brad,
And the
I knew
Bruins.
it'd be somebody with the knuckle sandwich.
Yeah. I have a Tony Esposito jersey, and the next jersey I get, whenever that it's going to be a Brad Park jersey. And it's probably going to be a Ranger Park jersey, not a Bruins Park jersey. So I think that's what it's going to be. Good question from Noble. ID, will you ever do your top 20 baseball rank again? And let me add, I think it would be an updated one because, like you said, there's a lot of games that to play, and he enjoyed your top 100, but you might need to do an update here because we have some new games that have come out.
There's been quite a few. There's season ticket I didn't have season ticket back in the day.
Pocket Pennant Run.
Pocket Pennants Run.
Did you play Back to Basics? No, you didn't play that.
No, that was brand new. Back to Basics, which I really think is a good game.
Comes with every season.
Wow, that is such a good deal, Dave. $10? Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
You get 100 seasons for $10.
Yeah.
And I got the sheets right here printed out. You just print them out.
Yeah.
And I suggested, where did I do with the sheet? You put them in like a little pocket protector.
Mm-hmm.
What did I do with them? Right here somewhere. Over there. Put them in the pocket protector. You take the other team's pictures. You just fold that sheet in half. You put your lineup there. You can just put your lineup numbers on here, and you play your game out with the fast action cards. You're ready to go.
Yeah,
just like that.
Yeah, I was pleasantly surprised when I started playing that game. I was like, "Oh, dude, this is a fun game."
Holy cow! What a good,
but yeah,
what
Noble
a good game.
Noble,
what a good game.
Yep, we're gonna have to have ID redo his baseball rankings with some newer games here. Yep,
there's quite a few new ones actually. Yep. Quite a few new ones.
Eddie Ballgame, Baseball Mogul 2023 is the best version to date in his honest opinion. Even allows for a one-off games now. Oh, interesting. Statistically very accurate and plays as fast as you want. I should check that out then.
It is
2023.
the best baseball sim if you're not doing a historical replay. The one issue that I've always had with Replay Mogul is they don't give you the actual schedule.
Really?
Yeah, no, it's like a random schedule. You play the same teams, but in like random
Really?
days.
I didn't
Yeah,
know that.
yeah.
Hmm, I
Which
didn't know
drives
that.
me crazy because I'm like, why?
What's really great about Baseball Mogul is you can play it pitch by pitch
Mhm.
or at bat or by half inning or by full inning. So if
Yep.
you're playing along, you can just kind of skim along, just play inning by inning, and get to the seventh inning, and then play the half inning, and then get to the eighth or the ninth, and pitch by pitch if you want. So, and you can interchange those on the fly. I mean that's the only game I mean, well, no, Action PC can go pitch by pitch too, but the Mogul, it's just so seamless. It's like, how do you want to play? It's like, I'll be playing. It's, oh, game's tied. I got to buckle down here.
Yeah.
2 outs,
Yeah.
2 on. I am
Yeah.
pitching.
It's
I
like
am
you
going to pitch
switch
to this guy.
modes. Yeah. Because all of a
I
sudden, yeah.
I like that. I do. JT Dutch chimes in. I actually really like Strat PC Baseball, but it's a bit of a pain to customize, and of course, it really isn't a good value for the money. More bang for the buck can be had elsewhere. I think you're right, but Strat's a good game. It's a very good game, great game. So if you want to play Strat, that's what you're stuck doing. It does, excuse me, suck paying for the seasons, whereas some other games for $20 you get every season. I do get that. I hate paying for the season, but you buy the season once and you have it. So you buy one here, one there. Next thing you know, you have all the seasons you want, and I guess they have to make their money somehow. I just wonder, like I say, if they just sold the game with all the seasons, if they'd be out of business or not. You just wonder, you know. But I mean, if you play it a lot, I mean, I bought the 1899 seasons and I got 10 times my money back for that Spiders season that I played.
Yeah.
That was one of my
That's the
favorite
thing. I mean,
replays.
how much time do you spend with it when you buy it? That's the thing. If you're like me, you buy it, you put it on your shelf, and you never do anything with it. It's just a big waste of money.
Hmm.
If you spend hundreds of hours with it, it doesn't matter how much it costs. You're getting your money's worth out of it.
Exactly. I always say back in the day when I, was playing the games, like teenager stuff like that, early 20s, and there really wasn't much out there. I said I would pay. Now this is, like I say, 40 years ago money. Okay, I said, yeah, 40 years ago money. I would pay $100 for an incredible hockey game because I know I would probably put thousands of hours into this game. Really. So again, it's how much money you're gonna, how many times you're gonna spend with that. And I've spent hours and hours with Strat PC Baseball, and I've enjoyed it. And I got several projects I've started with it, and I've had some. It's been fantastic. So it's, if I broke it down to what I spent on it with all the seasons and all the games, and how many hours I played, and then divide them, I don't know where I would be, but all I know that I've enjoyed what I've played, and I can play it right now if I want because I've already paid for it. So I do like that. And LK says he has the same pros and cons of Strat PC Hoops, having to load season copy protection schemes to paint. Yeah, how they do some of that, it actually is. It does suck.
Yeah, and
I see why they
you can only
do it,
have like one loaded at a time, and then you gotta un, un unauthorize your season, and then
yeah.
reauthorize it back
I
and
mean,
forth.
that's what's so good about some of the games that are on Steam, like Franchise Hockey Manager and OOTP and Pro Strategy Football. Wherever you are, if you can get on your Steam account, you can play. And that's I like that. I mean, most of my gaming's done here, but once in a while, if I'm on my other computer, I would go into Steam and play something. I just would. It's just easier. JT says Penny Hardaway was in Orlando.
Oh, Orlando.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
right.
Okay. Stevie Y is going to make the Red Wings relevant again as a GM. Steve Eisman's in NHL 94. Yeah, he was pretty good. Yep. Yep. D. Scott Howes wants to know why Tiger Williams isn't in the Hall of Fame. All-time leader in a few categories. Yeah, no, they don't put guys like that in the Hall of Fame. JT Dutch, I think Steve Eisman and Joe Sakic had the most universal respect around the league with the fans. I would say so. Yep. Yep. Oh, here's a good one here. Michael, since hockey is your sport, I assume he's talking to me. Do you like any of the Downey games, the hockey games? Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Final Score hockey, I really like. They only have two. They have Final Score and they have Ultra Quick. and I did a video that compares the both of them. Final score, I did an entire 71 season with final score every game.
Wow.
I did, and you know how I
You
did it. So
every
I had,
game, even for every team,
and
or
I
just
did
one team.
the entire playoffs. I did the whole game. It's a final
Oh,
score game, so
okay.
it's just it's Bruins are an A offense and a C defense, and they're playing Chicago, who's a B and a B, and you cross reference and add the home ice, and you have your final rating, and you roll, and you get the final score. It literally took 1 minute to play a game. So what I would do is I printed out like all these score sheets, and I would one day I would put in like fill out the whole score sheet with a schedule. So I'd look at the NHL schedule and I go like day by day, put in the schedule. Then the next day I'd put in the ratings, and then I'd get the final ratings. And then I would sit and I would roll like 30 or 40 games at a time because I had all the ratings done in the schedule. And then I would put it into the I forget which software I use for that, but I would just keep the schedule. And I did the entire, and it only took me 2 or 3 weeks to do this. It was just filling out the score sheets with the longest part, but rolling the games took seconds. It just, but I did the entire 71 season with final score hockey from Downey. And it was
the
really
one
fun.
that if the score's tied or close at the end of the game, you get like a roll off or something.
A pressure roll. Yeah.
A pressure roll. Yeah.
If it's tied or down by a goal, you get a pressure roll, and there's a special pressure chart to see that if you can tie the game or unbreak the tie or something like that.
Did you like that?
Yeah. Yeah, that added a new dimension to it. Yeah. Now I think I kept track of that. I think there was only 5 or 6 times during the entire season that the pressure roll flipped the game to the other team. Because you had to tie it and then you had to win it if you were trailing by a goal. So that didn't happen much. Sometimes you would tie it or it would end in a tie or lose or something like that. But it was kind of neat to have. Now, the ultra quick hockey, it's more expensive, but it comes with all the players. And with ultra quick hockey, it's the same rating system. You get your final score, but then you roll dice at the end to see who got the goals and the assists. And it was like a 1 to 1,000 rating or something like that. So, your Steve Yzerman would be, 1 to 100, let's say. And then the next guy's 101 to 150. And but down to the bottom, you got one poor schmuck to get one assist all year. You got the roll of 999 for him to get any points. You know what I mean?
Right.
But you could do that. And I'm running I think I'm running is it 80, 82, whatever Gretzky's best season was, 200 points. I started to run that season in ultra quick hockey from Downey. And I think I'm like 7 or 8 games in, and I haven't played that in quite some time, but it's like right here. I could probably put my hands right on it right now if I looked, and I could pull it out and see exactly what's going on. Yeah, here it is right here. Yep. So I'm playing 85-86 Gretzky is what it is. And I'm just kind of writing down in a notebook,
Okay.
And so what I would do is I would get the final score. And so I would just look at the Edmonton goals. And so let's just say it was 3-2 Edmonton. I would roll 3 times. I'd roll. And if Gretzky got the goal, I write down the goal. If he didn't, then I'd see if he got the assist. And I didn't care who got the goal. So if Gretzky either figured in the goal or he didn't.
All right,
and that's how. But yeah, so ultra quick is a little bit different. It doesn't have the pressure roll. What ultra quick does though, it has goalie ratings. So whereas final score is like a team defense, team offense, team defense, ultra quick, depending which goalie you have, will change your defense. So they're a little bit different. They do different things. I like them both, Michael. So hopefully that answered your question.
Compare them to final shootout. Yeah, are they easier? Is this easier complexity wise, time wise? What do you think?
Well, here's how final score hockey goes. You got Bruins offense, cross reference it with Chicago defense. You got a K. Chicago offense, Bruins defense, you have a O. All right. Home rating, whatever. So your final ratings are K and O. Roll the dice. K says 4 goals. Roll the dice. O says 1 goal. 4-1. You're done.
Okay.
That's what final score is. It's a final score game. So you're done in 1 minute.
Right.
Whereas
And the other one's
shootout,
basically the same,
the other one's the same,
but
except you can
after
get
the
stat.
end, then you can roll to see who got. If
Right.
you got
Like
5
you
goals, then you can roll to see who got them.
like momentum football, you can roll for stats
Right.
afterwards.
Okay.
Same thing. Shootout hockey, you're playing the game. 2
Yeah.
minutes off the clock.
Okay.
Scoring chance, penalty. You're digging into
Okay.
that game. Whereas the final score games, it's just ratings, and it's just what's you roll once to get
Okay.
the score. They are
Yeah.
fun. I do like those kind of games there. World's
I
Worst.
tend to go with a little bit more meat on my bones.
I do
but
too. I
yeah.
do too. That's why shootout is really good for that.
Here's the pitch. Great
I
game.
haven't tried it yet.
I seen that on Kurt Berglund's channel.
Yeah,
and
he plays it a lot.
I've watched a little bit of what he's doing with it. That's another one I'm thinking about maybe trying because it's they got the holiday sale going
Yep,
on.
I saw him play it, but I haven't done much with that. Let me see. Jamie says OOTP has so much in it, but he hits system overload when he tries to play. Then just for a replay, go back to APC. It's just easier. I will agree, but OOTP is designed for you to control the team, and Action PC is kind of more of a game day type of thing. So they're different things. Some people never even go to the ballpark in OTP. It's all behind the scenes, running the team,
it's
finances,
designed to
contracts.
You're supposed to be the general manager. You're getting offers and you're getting trade requests and you can adjust how much you're paying
all that stuff.
All that stuff. I mean, your ballpark, you can finance a new ballpark, and I mean there's a lot of stuff. Yeah. They need to like have a dumbed down version of Out of the Park that just puts you as a coach and
I think you can set it to computer to do all the other stuff.
Yeah, but then you still got all those other
feel
requests.
Like you're missing something. Yeah.
It's
like
crazy.
you're like, yeah. Midnight Crisis. Men of a certain age. Getting up to P was still going. Yeah, we'll wrap this up shortly here, but we had a good crew on today. We had some great questions here, and
absolutely.
a lot of fun here chatting with you guys here on Thanksgiving Eve and Bears Den. I wish Downey had the printed option like they used to. Yeah, there was a couple of games I was gonna pick up the printed version of because I find when it comes like to the fast action cards, I like to have those printed for me. I don't like to print the fast action cards, but a lot of the other stuff. The final score stuff and things like that, drive-by-drive games. I don't mind the printed them myself. But when it comes to fast action cards, especially front and back, I'll let them do it, and I'll pay for that.
Trying to line that stuff up and cut it in the right spot and
just I'll let them handle that stuff there. So I have got some printed Downey stuff. Some I've been happy with, some I haven't been. I mostly get the PDFs, but yeah, they if you go to the Downey site now for their Thanksgiving sale, it's all PDF. There's no more print. And we're hearing Jeff was not doing well health-wise, so I don't know what's going to happen with them or what their future is going to be. So that's why I was kind of grabbing. Every year I grab something from Downey, and I grab more this Thanksgiving just in case there's no more Downey. I wanted to make sure I had stuff, because I do like a lot of their games. I do like a lot of their quick play games. So
yeah, that's good.
Anyway, but yeah, so we'll wrap this up here. Eddie Ballgame, yes, thank you for coming by. We hope everybody has a good Thanksgiving tomorrow. Hopefully you're gonna play something. I might sneak out something late morning. Again, like I say, I think the wife's heading out with her family tomorrow, so I'll have some time here to myself after I go to the gym. Hopefully I'll go to the gym. I don't know if I will. I gotta go to the gym.
I was actually gonna have a APA golf stream with Phoenix Knight. But
nice.
now that's going to be postponed until Friday now because we're not going to get a chance to do that. We were going to do it Thursday night, but I can't do it. So yeah, maybe Friday, and I'm looking forward. I'll be probably on 5 times tomorrow.
Oh, nice.
So, yeah.
Yeah, I got to. That's one game I did that I was so excited to get was APA Golf, because that way I could just play by myself and just roll the dice and hit the ball and follow along. And I played it a little bit, and I don't know what happened. I never went back to it. I played it. I bought a couple of courses. I'm not saying it was ridiculously hard, but I don't know what it is. I don't know what it was. Maybe there's so much to it.
There's a learning curve. There's a learning curve.
And I played a little bit more of the basic stuff, and I was having fun with it. I thought, but I don't know what it was. I was so excited to get Apple Golf, and it's not that I didn't like it. I guess I just didn't like it more than all the games I'm playing now.
Okay.
I don't know. It was a different game, I think. So
If you want, we can do a live stream sometime. Sit down. I've got all the stuff on my side. You got all the stuff on your side, and I can just walk you through a few things, and maybe that'll get you over the hump or learn a few things.
yeah, it's just a matter. Like I said, I haven't played that in months, so I have to go back and go over it. But I didn't. I do like the APA chart system where you roll the dice and you look at the club you got and you see if you hit it good or if you hit it bad and how far left and right you went. I did enjoy that. It was just when you were in the rough or behind the trees or coming at the green from a different angle, that's when it got kind of confusing. Okay, am I
Yeah,
doing
well,
this right?
that is one of the three hard things in APA golf is hitting around trees. Is
Coming out of the
extremely
rough. Yeah.
yeah, and hitting on the rough, and then trying to figure out where you are on the green so you can figure out how
Mm,
far away you
yeah.
are, because you got
Yeah.
to calculate all these different angles and
Yeah.
stuff to get your putting distance.
I find if I was just kind of playing the basic rules, it was very easy and very basic, and it was enjoyable. It really was. But then sometimes you just overthink it, like, oh man, what about this and what about that, So, but
Yeah,
anyway,
you just need to try it a couple of times. I think you would. Dave, you always go back to these games after a while, and 9 times out of 10, you go, "Wow, this is a good game. I like this."
yeah, not every game's going to be a hit with everybody. And but sometimes you go back. I went back to Payoff Pitch, and I love it now. I do. And there's a couple other games I went back to, and it's like I'm so glad I didn't give up on these games. But sometimes you got to be in the right mood for it, and
Yeah, that's
and,
true.
and and there's a whole bunch of reasons why. So, but anyway, all right. Well, guys, we want to thank you for coming by tonight as we hang out late night here. We had a huge crowd here tonight. Holy cow, we had a huge
Awesome.
pre-Thanksgiving crowd. ID, thanks for coming on and chatting some games with us.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me, guys. I
You
appreciate it.
know.
Everyone have a great Thanksgiving, guys.
All righty. So we'll talk to everybody later. Hopefully we'll see some of you tomorrow or Friday or even over the weekend. But and I imagine that we'll be showing off a lot of the Black Friday stuff. I know I have some stuff that I haven't released yet that I told that nobody knows I bought yet. And I will be showing some of those games off. And I can't wait till I get my special payoff pitch project. I can't wait to share that with you guys.
Oh,
And
yeah. I have to hear about this.
I'm kind of hoping once I announce what it is that other payoff pitch players will kind of join in on this project.
Hmm.
Yeah, it could be kind of a fun group project here. I don't
Totally
know.
intrigued now.
Ron thought it was a really fun idea. And I'm like, this is something that everybody could play. I don't want to say too much beyond that, but once things arrive and I explain what it is, it might be kind of fun here.
Ah,
Might be
looking
kind of
forward
fun.
to hearing this.
Nothing crazy, but it's kind of different, I think. It's kind of different. So yeah. And World Wars Gamer says he likes the payoff pitch. It is awesome. It is. Thank you to everybody that came by tonight. Go Devils. Yep. And Jeremy, thanks for coming by. He's at the in-laws until Saturday. Oh, well, make the best of it. And then when you come back, stop playing some games. So anyway, all righty. We'll talk to everybody later. ID, hang on for 1 sec before we go, and we'll say bye offline, and we'll talk to everybody later. Bye-bye.